found it. Okay, guys, we are a little behind schedule, and I realize now as I made our face really big, Alex. We're in front of the draft. If the draft comes, we will be moving our faces out of the way.
Wow.
But guys, we are ready to move into game number 1 with Lucifron and CsO. No, you don't want to put that on. It's really loud.
I don't mind.
Okay. So guys, let's hop on in. It is time for game number 1. Now, Mr. Beasty, now that you've joined us here today, we haven't seen Roos versus Order of the Dent in a while. Take me through this.
Well, welcome everybody to the Cutie Patootie cast, or well, welcome me, I guess, to the cast. But Order of the Dragon, CsO loves picking it. I think Louis and CsO play quite a bit. There's some other players in there. So I think a lot of players are pretty inexperienced playing against Order of the Dragon because not many people play it. But the good thing is at the top level, even if you're not really aware how to play against OTD, it doesn't tend to be one of the top civs. So I think Lucifron is going to have a pretty good time here.
Now, we've seen Roos be pretty predominant anyway, but Lucifron is a very aggressive guy, and I feel like Order of the Dragon...
Playing the qualifying match, you know, it's late for both players, for some later than the others.
Yes.
And running your scout immediately to DC, that is not like a confidence thing. You don't feel good about that. You don't go like, oh yeah, it's fine. You're like, oh god, I can't believe I just did that. So we're gonna see a little deer push here, and that is a lot of deer. That's not just a couple. And CsO has no idea that this is happening, so this is basically doing a budget. This is a semi-professional scouting, where he will be pushing it, but he won't need the pro scouting tech, which actually gives him a pretty good lead into that pro scouting war. And we see CsO finishing the pro scouting, so he's going to be starting that. But whenever you enter these battles against Roos, they just do it a lot better. And I think even if CsO gets off the pro scouting, he's even making a tower, which I'm not, I guess because there's spearmen, but I don't think they can actually attack. So he will be able to slowly go towards the castle, but Lucifron will be able to as well if he decides to do so.
Which is pretty wild to me to see the fast castle coming out from CsO. And I mean, I call this responsible because he's still invested in the outpost as well, and he's going to have enough food to last him quite a while. But being on a map with not a lot of gold, you probably want to find a way to secure your gold when you're up against a civilization, again, that has horse archers. Because the moment you get off of these, it does become a lot harder. Now with the spearman, he's able to try and deny some of this. You see a little bit of yoinking going on as well. So that is going to make it a little bit harder for CsO to get that pump up and running. But luckily, this is the most deer-worthy map out there.
Yeah, and CsO is going to age up very, very quickly. The funny thing about that tower is before Lucifron even gets there, the gold will expire. So the tower doesn't get a lot of value on this map, like you mentioned. There's not a lot of gold, and he's gonna go for Regnitz.
I haven't seen this
in
a while.
Yeah, so this is not the normal style. The reason it's not very common is because Burger just gives you such good value. But maybe because he's thinking, you know, this map doesn't have a lot of gold, so I'm gonna go Cathedral. But I think going Cathedral and trying to get the relics is going to be a very challenging task against Roos. So we do see a little horseman trying to poke. Now the problem with pro scouting against Roos, as you can see in this game, Lucifron pushed in his first deer pack and then went immediately for CsO deer pack. So I think he already took 5 of his deer and maybe more to come. So I think this is a pretty good start for Lucifron. The more food you have in these kinds of castle rush games, the better it's going to become for you.
Now, this is the pretty tough spot, I think, for a lot of people. When you get into a situation with a high trade house, it's pretty safe. Order of the Dragon, they're usually pretty good at raiding. And we do see him going for the Gilded Knight as well. This is going to require a pretty big reaction from Lucifron, but he's already pre-reacted. He's got 6 spearmen on the field, and yes, they are just there denying deer. And with CsO's spearmen, he's going to be able to chase those away. But I think the damage has been done. He's definitely gotten what he needed, especially from the deer department. And he's still got all the deer behind his base to fall back on, which probably feels pretty good for him. Now, oof, look at all that food, Beasty.
Yeah, if I'm actually a bit surprised that Lucifron only went. He just added the 6th scout, but I'm actually surprised he only did 5. Just because there's so many deer on this map, we're gonna see a little harassment coming in. And I would not be surprised if he switches to crossbows the moment he sees the knight. But now he is gonna go horse archers, and the good thing about OTD for Lucifron is even if he gets like 50 horse archers and shoots at one unit, he's not going to overkill it as much as he would with the other civs, and that's the first prelate attempting to yoink a relic, and he will be not very successful, might even go down, but that knight from OTD is going to come and slowly start mowing down one unit at a time. That scout is going the wrong way. Hey, bring it back over here.
Now the knight does arrive, and even though there are spearmen in this mix, that does feel pretty good. We do see the horseman now, the horse archer now, going to deny the next prelate who dares touch it. But you can see that gilded knight, he is just destroying. And the thing about him going for Regnus is he's actually going to be able to heal these bad boys back up. They do take a while to heal back up, but it does make it a little bit less scary. I say that, but the prelate died, ladies and gentlemen. That will not be a safe relic going home. Now, already we have an Order of the Dragon going for Regnus, but there are 0 relics inside of it by now. And this does probably not feel that great for CSO. This is something that he needs, and he needs it now. We do see Rus not touching the gold, because that's how the civilization works. But on this side, he has had to move out already. And this is what Rus loves.
This is an Imperial Rush from CSO.
It is.
But this is why Cathedral is so weird, because he lost. That's 3rd prelate going down. Now he is taking 2 relics back home. Never mind, that one potentially will go down as well. And if he loses another prelate, that is 4 prelates down. He looks like he wanted to rush Imperial, but now he's making another horseman and making more prelates. It's like you don't want to constantly be making prelates if you're trying to rush Imperial, which looks like what he's trying to do right now. And he is already mining stone, so he is preparing the stone so he can make some towers. And you can see right here, he's going to be upgrading a lot of the Sprinkle towers, but Lucifron is doing a very good job denying all these relics. Right now, oh my god, he found that one too. And I think that is a 4th or 5th prelate going down, and he only got 1 relic. Just 1.
And the problem is he's dragging that relic closer to the base of Lucifron, so probably not wanted to do that, but pathing, beating him.
The scout is carrying the deer the wrong way, the prelate is carrying the relic the wrong way. It happens, and we do see Palace of Swabia now. If he got 4 relics, I would be like, this is pretty good. He can upgrade the towers, but he only got 1. And yeah, that guy got nothing to pick up. Lucifer now with 1 and 3 more on the way. So CSO losing a lot of units. Lucifer did like a very, very good job denying all the units around the map. Didn't actually lose any villagers. Secured the relics. He will be able to capture sacred sites. And from here on out, the moment he sees the Swabia, he has 2 choices. He will either commit to Sacred Site victory, he will either all in, or he will just continue playing the game kind of just macro-wise. But he needs to make a decision, because you cannot just do nothing against Swabia. You have to respond with something.
The thing is, I feel like he already has the upper hand here. Like, the Swabia is going to take quite a few minutes to actually kick in. He's got 4 relics. He's got a pretty sizable army, and he could definitely make a move on these smaller patches out here. Because you can see that CSO, he doesn't have a lot of stone. This is not going to be a situation where he's going to be able to get emplacements on every single tower. He is literally not getting a single emplacement right now. He's getting a tower here at the front, and he's going to need this, because that wood line is probably the only one he's going to be able to access in a while. But this is also going to be running out eventually. He probably just doesn't want to let him there for too long. Now, he does have quite a bit of gold, so this could mean that he could potentially buy some stone if the aggression starts, but definitely not a spot that you want to find yourself in. And that is a pretty sizable army now making its way towards non-emplaced towers. Oh, and there goes the market. We're buying stone, ladies and gentlemen.
And we can see that Lucifron has opted for an all-in, so I'm assuming, yeah, siege engineering is coming, so this will be like 5 or 6 rams and just start ramming everything all at once. He sees the tower's not upgraded and he says, you know what, maybe I can trigger emergency repairs, maybe I can just kill a couple of villagers. Those OTD villagers are pretty expensive, and let's not forget that CSO is not really gathering food. He's got, I think, 2 deer under that Swabia, and the rest of it is just getting idled. So Lucifron's playing a pretty good game, controlling the map. I'm expecting rams to come in any moment, and this is going to be a very rough one for CSO.
You see 3 rams already queued up and 6 more knights. He is looking for some damage, and you can see these horse archers, they know about these problems. And the tower does get reinforced here as well, but the thing is, that was not cheap. He's gonna have to keep buying stone to actually be able to afford that. Or is he on a stone? No, he is. He's on a stone mine. Never mind. He got himself some stone. So the thing is now, he doesn't need to keep attacking to the front side, and I think that's what a lot of people have been doing during this tournament. They've just been hammering at the front side, but Lucifron is not that kind of guy. He's the kind of guy who's going to go into your backline and actually find the villagers and where to do the right amount of damage. He does see that most of the villagers have been removed from here, and only 5 vills being there, it might not seem like the juiciest spot to focus your attention on. Now the Swabia has kicked in, and we do have a 7 villager lead here for CSO, but keep in mind this is Order of the Dent villagers, and those are even better. But the problem is, the military is non-existent.
Now those gilded hand cannoneers are really, really strong, but I mean, there's some army deficit. While they're very, very strong, I mean, he has 2 of them, and I don't think they can fight against, 40 army count. Rams, 3 of them are ready, and I think he's about to be ready to just slowly start pushing. In this situation, it would be actually pretty good to also add a trebuchet. Because this will probably not be, it might be like, one push and kill, but adding trebuchets is not a bad idea. Every time he activates emergency repairs, we just go on something else. And we see that CSO transferred all the deer under the chapel to the TC so that horse archers can harass. And right now, what you can do with this cavalry is just do massive run-bys and try to pick off villagers everywhere, try to harass as much as you can. The moment emergency repair gets activated here, he should just opt to go for something else. Killing the market wouldn't be a bad idea. Can go for the other tower. Just slow. Oh, this is not even upgraded. That is a tragedy. So he's just gonna go for that. There's only 1 Springle tower. There's some spearmen coming in now, but Lucifron just has so many units.
And the problem is, that's the last bit of gold that he has. Yes, there was a little mine over here, but it had 100 gold in it. And now it is gone. That's going to mean the hand cannoneer cap is going to be reached. So
yoink.
And now a 5 relic Rus does feel pretty scary. So guys, it does look like these hand cannoneers are going to be collapsed on villagers being used as meat shields, not planned. But those hand cannoneers are getting focus fired down by these horse archers. And they look like they're made out of paper. It doesn't feel like an Order of the Dragon hand cannoneer right now. This is a little bit of a destruction, actually.
Yeah, the villagers are going down, and the problem is there's so much idle time. The rams are still destroying. I'm assuming they killed that tower at the top. He's trying to upgrade some more, but even if Lucifron loses all the units, I mean, all the economy is completely idle. We see a great migration to the west with a lot of villagers. Oh god, no.
They've been spotted!
And yeah, there's more units coming to the west side already. We can see them redirected, so this is just a disaster for CSO. And well, if anyone's wondering why does nobody play OTD, well, this game is a good example to show why.
We actually have seen an OOTD in a very similar situation and almost taking the game afterwards, but this is not going to be one of those.
Not against Rus, let me tell you. But he is holding for now. He did lose a lot of villagers. He does have Swabia. Now, the tricky thing about Swabia, whether you're playing against H3 or OTD, you actually can't just kill some villagers and go back because you're behind in villagers already. So he will be killing a lot more villagers on the west side. So as long as he forces idle time and, well, if he kills all these, I think the game is kind of sealed. But you kind of need to do more damage, either deny your opponent resources or maybe get that Swabia down, which will allow you to kind of transition out of it. And Lucifron has so much food. He is on double boar right now. He's got all the berry patches as well. So he's ready to play this game long term. Meanwhile, CSO should be struggling for food very, very soon.
Now the problem is he's not going to be able to do any type of food transition either, because he's on the wood right now, but every little bit of wood that he's getting, he's using to make spearments and repairing. Now, it does look like the archery range is also going to go down, and this is going to be a little bit dire as we now see the last gold villagers also going to be going down. CSO completely gold starved. He's going to need a ton more spearmen, and that's what his composition is, because he doesn't have any gold. So for him, that's his army. And these guys are not going to be able to make the amount of farms he needs to replace that army. Now the Spasskaya Tower coming right into the middle of the map. And this is what the map is all about. It's all about getting that middle gold.
I would like if he actually just pulled 30 villagers and made Spasskaya in his base. Because he's so far away from making siege. Like, he doesn't have wood or gold. He doesn't have wood for siege workshop. So, but you know, Lucifron is a calculated gamer. He's just gonna take a chill pill. He's just gonna say, you know what, I'm just gonna take this slow. It's going pretty well. No need to risk. And he might even kill him with this push. You can see CSO is trying to get berries in Imperial Age. That's how you know the game is not going too well for you. And hand cannoneers, spearmen are going down to the archer mass, and he's gonna be tapping out.
Now,
just like that.
I realized we actually went into game 2 because these two Chads, they got ahead of us. So guys, that was game 2. I just want to point that out. Lucifron and CSO did start a little bit early. So currently it is 1-1, and we did forget something. Or not we, me. This is a me problem.
No, I forgot it.
Yes, actually.
What did I forget?
Oh, you forgot to do the giveaway.
Oh, my bad.
Okay. You haven't actually seen.
So what is the score right now?
1-1, right there on the screen.
Wow.
That's what the stream sees.
By the way, I did see earlier, before I arrived to cast, I did see the previous matchup, and I kind of took a double take. I was like,
because
wait.
English?
Yeah, so I'm going to discuss that a little bit. So Coastal Cliffs, Lucifron went, I got French, Mongol, JD, Delhi, Byzantine, Rus. I'm going to first speak English.
But
which is kind of crazy to me.
We've been seeing a lot of, not great English plays, but we've been seeing some people pull out some English strats. Vortex especially. So maybe that's why Lucifron got inspiration.
Is the qualifying match best of 7?
Qualifying match is best of 7?
Okay, that makes sense then.
Okay,
I like that.
Okay.
Never mind, I take it back. Because if you have 7 civs, and a lot of the more inexperienced players, I would say, they go like, oh, it's game 1, I'm going to pick a strong civ.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that. It's like, you know what, I'm just going to pick English. Maybe he picks one of the strongest civs, and I cook him up. And losing Malian to English, I mean, he won with Malian, but losing Malian to English is not.
It's a big civ for a very tiny one.
But then again, he lost OTD to Rus.
That's true. Oh, that's true.
It evens out.
So, guys, you do see the mouse moving on the screen. That is the giveaway we will be doing. You have 15 seconds. 10 seconds.
5.
Beasty, call on Tommy to summon the winner.
Send it in 3, 4, 2, 3, 2, 1.
FTW Sappy 84, he's gonna be the owner of this wonderful, beautiful Rival 3 mouse. We're also getting these, by the way.
Love that.
We're getting a purple one and a blue one.
I like that. Which one are you gonna get?
We will fight over them and see.
Damn.
We can do like a rock, paper, scissors or something.
Love that. I actually heard the joke earlier about the mouse and hamster.
Yeah. Do you get it?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, a mouse is wired mouse because it has a long tail, and hamster has a very short tail.
Okay,
so
there we go. Okay, so it is a hamster, not a mouse, because it doesn't have a tail. Very nice.
Right.
Okay, that was actually a really funny joke. Damn.
Tommy confirmed that.
Damn. Tommy, you're on fire, girl. Okay, guys, let's head in. After the next game, we will be opening entries for, not the mouse, but rather the headset.
I'm joining for that one.
You're joining. You're already getting one. You want to?
I want to.
Guys,
I'm going to put one on one ear like this and the other one on the other ear. That's just how I roll.
Alien. Okay. Now, Mr. Beasty Cutie, we have Aobids and Mongols. And actually, we haven't seen this on Relic River. Which... Tell me why.
if we were to switch to the drafts, I could tell you exactly what's happening.
I can't.
We can't.
We can't.
If technology is not there, it's fine.
I can show you the draft on the other screen.
Okay, I love that.
But the guys will have to. We will have to. Yeah.
We can follow Khan meanwhile.
Okay,
or something.
I'll follow Khan.
So this is so what's happening basically is Relic River. It's okay. The most common civs are Mongol, Delhi. I would say Mongol, Delhi, Japanese, perhaps, sometimes JD and French are popular ones. So, but Mongol is very dominant here. So this is the interesting thing. Ayubit is pretty bad here. But the reason you pick Ayubit is to counter cavalry civs, and one of them is Mongol. So the reason you pick Mongol here is because Mangudai are very strong and can give you a lot of map control. You can do fast Imperial. But Mangudai are actually terrible against Ayubids because of the Desert Raiders. And also going Keshiks is terrible against Ayubids because of Desert Raiders. So Lucifron has Mongol, which is one of the best civs on this map, but CSO countering that with Ayubid. And at the same time, I think CSO plays Ayubids quite a bit. So I actually think that while Mongol is a better civ overall and better civ on this map, I think kind of give the upper hand to CSO.
So CSO got a little bit of a civ advantage here. That's what you're on. Okay.
I would say so. I mean, maybe I'm completely wrong. I guess we'll see. I'm putting my caster reputation at stake here.
Oh my goodness, in front of everyone.
That's right.
No, he does go for the eco wing. And honestly, again, something we haven't seen as much. We've been seeing a lot of the dervishes coming on out. And,
yeah, so the reason we don't see dervish here is because the first deer pack is super close, so he's just gonna probably use the scout to push. And second, these kinds of games don't tend to be like fast castle against Mongols. He might do it. They tend to be like feudal desert raiders type of stuff. So he might just want to opt for more villagers so he can produce desert raiders and get to castle at some point slowly. Maybe even do a dervish into castle or even military wing into castle would be really good.
Now, this does look like he gets the deer pretty close. And I mean, when you're up against Mongols, that's probably the best case scenario, right? Because of the Mangudai. Now, do we see fast Imperial from Mongols on a map like this? Or is this more of a, I'm going to put pressure on you kind of civilization?
I mean, Lucifron got a pretty, I mean, this is probably as good of a spawn you can get on this map. Maybe deer being close to your goal would be even better, but he's got a pretty good spawn, and he opened with pasture, which is going to give him some kind of food sustain happening right there, which is pretty nice. Can we check on what CSO is doing? Let's see. He's getting more gold.
He's going fast castle.
How many does he have on wood?
1.
Does he not have any production? No. Okay, so he's just gonna do a fast castle. Okay, cool. He's just gonna get the berries now. Lucifron did not opt for any kind of Dark Age rush because against Ayubid, it's not as good. They can just be like, okay, I don't need to mine gold. I'll just make 2 archers, make a ram, and the tower is gonna go down. And Lucifron will be doing the Mangudai, which, to be fair, CSO is the guy that is like, oh, you're making cavalry, I'll just make 20 desert raiders in feudal. And he's not doing it right now. He decided to just opt for fast castle and just do that ASAP. And I'm not sure how much damage these Mangudai will be able to do because we already have tower. And we can see he mined some stone, which I'm assuming the tower is upgraded. Yeah, the tower is upgraded. He's already getting all the berries because he has that eco wing. So basically, by the time Lucifron arrives, the villagers are going to be under the town center. We see stable coming out. So, looking pretty good for CSO. And I kind of wonder what Lucifron's response is going to be. And again, playing Mongol into these kinds of civs, or even fast castle civs, is not that great because you can't really do anything with your Mangudai. So he's just going to be running around. Maybe he's going to be able to pick off some of the villagers on the wood, or at least deny them a little bit, but he smartly did not chop the straggler trees. So you can actually just chop those and get like 3 more stables if he wants to, which is probably what he's going to do.
And that is exactly what he does. See, this is why you're a top player. You read the game so well. But getting advanced...
Oh, wow.
Yes?
Yeah, he's going advanced wing. I'm a bit surprised about that.
It might just be because he feels the urgency, but the thing is, I don't feel like it's that
Yeah, I don't think
urgent.
there's any urgency. Yeah, you can see Lucifron is like, yeah, I can't do anything. I just made these Mango die. I'm just gonna go age up, so... I kind of wish he did Dervish Wing, or even Military Wing in Castle is really strong. And that Khan is alive. Ooh!
Almost. Oh my goodness. Look at the deer stones though, right in the base. You see the Khan still running around trying to find some damage, but the deer stones going to be absorbing some of the hits if they decide to dive though. So it does pull the attention away, and I wonder if that was the intention alongside the movement speed. We do see the Khan trying to get there and snipe off a few villages in the corner, but behind this, it looks like Lucifron is going castle himself. Just trying to force some units out of CSO, but CSO is going to be starting that pretty soon. He gets a blacksmith at the backside here as well.
Yeah, we see a lot of villagers are kind of lost there going for the wood. He needs to get more wood so he can make some dervishes, so he can get some relics. He does age up pretty quickly, but even with the advancement wing, you can see Lucifron is not actually that far behind. He's almost right there as well, which I am assuming is going to be step readout, because I don't think you're going to get a lot of value from Kurultai, considering he has no units at all. And that is going to be a big age up, 15 villagers coming in straight away. But these Camel Lancers are going to be very good against Mangudai. If I'm Lucifron, probably start running soon.
Are they faster?
So basically they can kite the normal knights because the charge will wear off, but the Ayubid Lancers, they have basically super long charge and they do bonus damage. So if they hit Mangudai, they're gonna two-shot them. So he should consider start running very soon.
Now, what a lot of people have been doing is they've been just trying to force out a lot of units from the opponent and then going for that fast imp, right? So, and especially players like Numadan, but he didn't have RNGesus on his side. He got a few Hui powers out of that. Now, I would love to see if that would be the case here, but it looks like that Lancer, he has different plans, Alex.
Yeah, you can see Lucifron is trying to find him because he's in front of the base, so he's not seeing them come out, and he's like, okay, I know you're somewhere there. He sees them, but he's gonna give chase, and I think CSO should just maybe turn around and just start poking. But there's more Lancers coming at the same time. They're just gonna beeline across the map. Now, the Lucifron cannot go like Keshik Mangudai. That would be kind of suicide against all the camels. So he is going to switch to crossbows, but that will make his comp very mobile, so he's gonna slow down quite a bit, and CSO will probably commit to full raiding while Lucifron is gonna start securing parts of the map.
Now, Lucifron does have a double raid coming in hot here. We do see the camels from the bottom side, but the Khan, he's trying to pick off a few of these units on the way there, but it doesn't look like CSO is being greedy at all. He keeps, and he picks up a relic there for himself. Very nice, but the Desert Raider, he is taking a little bit of damage, but it looks like he's trading so well.
Yeah, not really. The Mangudai, can we check their damage? Yeah, they're doing 1 damage per hit right now, so goodness. He doesn't even need the upgrade for them to do 1 damage. So...
Now the thing is, with the Camel Lances running around, this just creates... the fact that he almost got that Shaman definitely feels like these crossbows are not going to be enough to match up against that. We do see the Khan and the Horse Archers, or Mangudai, trying to find some damage still. And they are kiting that Lancer, but once he connects, he is going to two-shot it exactly like Beasty said.
Yep, and the relics are... There's a fight over relics happening. So far, Lucifron, I feel like a bit of a deja vu from the last game, OTD. Mongols just losing the Shamans right now, and Dervishes are slowly going to pick up one relic after the other, which is pretty nice. Now, Lucifron is going to start taking one. The further ones are going to be pretty hard for Lucifron to take just because there's so much distance, and you can see CSO is covering the bottom relic. He's not looking to harass, he's just playing the relic game. He's trying to deny relics, and I think this should be 4-1 right now, which again, Lucifron did commit quite a bit to making these Shamans, and only getting 1 relic is not really going to feel too good, and we see 1.7k gold.
That is a lot of gold, and in that case, do you just sell some of it to try... to try and see if you can get to Imperial. But we do see the Khan and the Mangudai kiting their hearts out. The Horsemen are trying to wait around the corner, and we will see these two connecting here. It does not look like they're going to chase these down, but Camelancer is definitely trying his best. Oh, but the next charge is coming on through, and another.
See,
he deleted him.
Yeah, so this is why, like, I feel like these Mangudai, I mean, they cause some idle time, but he can't really be active with them across the map because he will lose them all. So he's kind of using them defensively, but they're not really doing anything. And this is the point where I wouldn't be surprised if Lucifron plops down 1 or 2 more towers on the other gold and decides to just buy Imperial, which is kind of looking like he's about to do. Now, the Horseman transition is on the way, and he has no Spearman as of right now to hold that. So, if CSO hits at the right time, this might be a very, very bad timing for Lucifron.
And you can see he's panic making these spears by getting the double production of the Spearman out. And he knows what's about to happen if he doesn't respect this. So, almost there with the Imperial now. It does feel like he's delaying this a little bit, and it could be dangerous to do. Now, we do see another Spearman in production here, but they need a lot more numbers to be able to take this down. A lot of towers here now trying to secure some food, and he does get the step readout to move away a little bit, I'm assuming, to get to the next gold, but this gold can easily be under siege. He does, however, go the other way, which is just going to mean that Lucifron is going to have access to more gold. Now, my question here is, why didn't he instantly buy Imperial? Is it just so he could constantly make units?
I think he just wants to have gold left over in order to maybe get an upgrade or two. I mean, he has no military upgrades. He doesn't have a blacksmith. I just realized he's making one right now, I think. Yeah, so he doesn't even have military academy, which is very important if you're doing this. And we see +2 ranged armor from CSO. He's going to be running in. Lucifer does not pay attention. Loses 1. He sees the age up as well, and we'll see if he's going to commit. You can see Horsemen are running to their crossbows straight away, but I feel like this is not CSO's whole army. I'm not sure where they are, but again, he has a decision to make. Are you going to all in, or are you somehow going to transition out of this? And actually, Nest of Bees is not what you want here. He's basically full Horseman, so getting Nest of Bees not the best thing. Now, CSO is the type of player that I can actually see say I'm just going to go Imperial myself with the military wing and just kind of fight out free units versus free units. But I am not sure if that's going to work because Kaganat Palace is already going to start spamming a lot of units.
Now, it also depends on which units he gets that will determine if he's going to be able to actually do some damage. But with the first Nest of Bees, it does feel pretty good, though. He doesn't have military academy, so this will not be as fast as he wants it to be. But we do see that first Nest of Bees coming out, and next up, ooh, Imperial Palace Guards.
Now, let me ask you something, Mareka. Which units does Kaganat produce the most? What type of units?
Nest of Bees?
Cavalry.
Oh, really?
And that's not what you want.
Oh, yes.
So it can produce horse archers, knights, warrior monks, and Mangudai, which is... None of those are very good against Ayubid. So, on the other hand, I guarantee you CSO is going to go military wing now. And he's going to be getting 7 Desert Raiders every 2 minutes, which are basically going to kill pretty much everything that... the landmark can produce, except maybe Palace Guards, but I'm pretty sure that Desert Raiders can just kite him out. So let's see the age up. CSO is opting for, military wing reinforcement. So I kind of like this play from CSO. He's saying, you know what, I don't need to actually all in. I can just move on to the next stage. Now, Lucifron needs a very strong front line. So maybe hand cannoneers, a lot of spearmen just to be able to hold all the cavalry units.
And he gets another barracks for this pure reason. The thing is now, he doesn't have access to infinite stone, as some Mongols do, because the Uwus are getting denied. We do see a lot of damage on this one. The Nest of Bees being out of position instantly gets picked off, and it looks like these spearmen are doing some work, but the horsemen, they're pretty slippery.
Alright, gets a Nest of Bees, and you could... The thing is, most of the time when you play this Mongol thing, fast Imperial, you kind of expect like, okay, I'm gonna get all in. So Lucifron is like just spamming spearmen and crossbow in order to hold, but there is no push coming. So he might be kind of over defending And he doesn't realize that CSO is the one that's now being very, very greedy.
He's about to find out when he does see that military wing come on through. He does get +1 ranged defense now, but with those horse archers he just got, he is probably going to try to do some raiding as well. Oh, we see he sees this. He knows what's about to come, and this is going to tell him, I need to be the one that is aggressive. And that's exactly what he's doing. You can see him pushing out on the map. He knows this is his moment. He needs to decap. Oh, he does. He does quickly go for the circuit sites as well. And we do see a little bit of that greedy goose play coming out of CSO, and he is out on the map. But the Palace Guard's idling this economy quite significantly.
Now what's important is CSO is actually being very greedy. He's not spending his resources. He just started making Desert Raiders. He's only getting upgrades for Desert Raiders because he wants to commit to only Desert Raiders. Maybe even wanted to go for Fast University for Incendiary Arrows. Now he will be taking damage. The problem is, or the question is, how much can he minimize the damage? Because if he starts losing like 10-15 villagers, this might be game over for him. But there's a lot of units from Lucifron, and he still needs to get the upgrades for Desert Raiders because right now they're not very, very good.
They are able to kite these, at least for now, especially because Spearmen only have 2 legs. They don't run as fast, but we do see some CSO villagers cooking. It's been a long day, okay? Now, another set of villagers getting cornered, and now he's got 10 down. Now, going for that economy wing means that he was a few villages up, but these Desert Raiders, they do look scary. But the thing is, there's not that critical mass yet, so this army should be okay handling some of this, but it does feel like Lucifron is committing a little bit deep here into the TC, and he's taking a lot of fire.
Yeah, he's almost lost all the spearmen there, and if you look behind, he's getting flanked by horsemen, so I'm not sure if this is oh, okay, well, not that kind of flank, but if that went into these units, that would be really, really good for him, and Lucifron is going to trade out, but he's not killing any villagers. He's trading units for units, which not the greatest thing for CSO because he is behind on the unit count, but he would rather lose units than probably villagers at this point. So we see Knights coming up. He is going to get cleaned up, but these Desert Raiders, if he manages to get University and Incendiary Arrows, I feel like the game might switch back on Lucifron quite a bit.
And it looks like Lucifron is aware of this power imbalance in the Imperial Age, so he's trying to do as much as he can with this timing. He's just going to have a nice little surprise when he sees the 8 villagers just chilling over here on the side. We do see some sneaky vills over here trying to get wood as well. Definitely a lot of greedy goose plays coming here out of CSO, but Lucifron is ahead economically, right? So my question is that going to be enough against the free units that keep popping out from here?
The thing is, if you look at the unit count, it looks even, but if you look at the actual units, this is not good for Lucifron. I mean, most of his army is spearmen that literally cannot attack these Desert Raiders, and we see +2 range attack coming, and I think CSO might be saving now for all the other upgrades, because just like Kaganat Palace, he is producing Desert Raiders for free. So he does have 4 relics. He's gonna try to recap these sacred sites. And yeah, these horse archers I think are about to find out that he is getting his bears. So yeah, we see a big move out from CSO, and as someone who's played against CSO and seen his games, he has played this game, I can guarantee you, way more than Lucifron did. This Mass Desert Raider into just nothing else. He has played probably tens or maybe even 100 games with Ayubit, and I'm not sure how many games Lucifron has played with Mongol against this. So we see archers coming out, which are a good choice, but I think that slowly but surely he's creeping towards that university, and maybe he even started it somewhere, because once he gets Incendiary Arrows, the game changes completely.
Now, a few more villages will get picked off, and this is probably the best he could hope for, but we do see that mass Desert Raider group just coming towards this army. Now Lucifron trying to do as much damage as possible. He does get this tower, and he will be able to pick off 5 more villages, but we can see the same is happening down there with the Desert Raiders. They are able to pick up a bunch of villages as well, and now, not as many.
Actually, I just killed 1.
That's surprising.
Yeah, Lucifron having good reactions, and we see a ranged armor coming. CSO, the villagers are all running, and I'm assuming he wants that food because... Oh, nope, he wants the gold, my bad. He does not have a second town center. He doesn't really have stone for any tower upgrades, so his economy is very, very exposed. And we see 10 Mangudai now, or sorry, 12 Mangudai and 10 horse archers. So what Lucifron could do is just send all the cavalry to the top side and start doing some raiding, some harassing, and that Kaganat Palace is just in full power, just spamming units right now.
What I'm a little bit upset about is the fact that he doesn't have a single Hui Hui Bao or warrior mod.
I would have had 4 already.
Yeah, what the hell?
Shooting deer or something.
You should ask him what mod he uses, because my goodness.
Yeah, he's getting more knights. He's getting the. He didn't even get warrior monks or nested bees.
He got 1.
He's just getting the good stuff, the cavalry. Which, to be fair, Lucifron is using in the main fight, but Lucifron does have incendiary arrows, which is really good. And we see CSO is getting the incendiary arrows, and I guarantee you, he will try to delay this until that upgrade finishes, because if he does not, this fight will 100% not go well for him. And there's a very good chance it will not go well for him with incendiary arrows either.
Now, getting this type of fight is going to be probably something he wants to take in about, I would say, like 5 more minutes, so he gets 2 more loads. But the moment this army gets on top, it is going to be so tough. And you see the incendiary arrows doing work. He does not want this right now. And you can see that food income is non-existent for CSO. He's relying on pure free units. And Lucifron, he's actually producing stuff. So this does feel very imbalanced. And now with him being on top of the House of Wisdom, he's going to be able to pick a few of these off the moment they pop out. And they do have a few more seconds on them, but it does look like he's able to do quite a bit of damage. But again, these are just free units. And Lucifron is making... Oh, never mind. He's pulled it. That was enough.
Oh, Kaganat Palace once again coming through.
The power.
It never fails, let me tell you. I've never seen someone actually rush Imperial with Mongol.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't like take damage immediately, to lose the game.
I actually felt like this could be the matchup that we just discovered that's like worth it.
Yeah, but then you just see like the amount of units that are just coming out is a bit too wild. I think the problem is with Kaganat compared to Military Wing is Kaganat Palace gives you upgraded units, but with Military Wing you actually have to invest crazy amount of resources. Mm-hmm. You need biology, you need incendiary arrows, you need that upgrade, it gives you range, you need blacksmith upgrades. Meanwhile, Lucifron was Imperial with like +0/+0 an army and producing Imperial units for free. So yeah, Kaganat's pretty good. It's one of those that I do believe that if Ayubid enters Imperial somewhat even ground, I think it's a pretty good matchup for Ayubid, but I think he just got way too much value.
Definitely.
From the Kaganat Palace.
The RNG was just good.
It was good. It was good. He got what we needed.
All right,
say that.
Guys, we're gonna be opening the giveaway right now. So Tommy will be pasting in the chat what you guys need to write to edit, and we'll be hopping into game number 4. Now, this is, I would say, probably a very happy camper type of map for Lucifron. But he's not going for just the dock. He's going for the mill, which means he's also going to go for wheelbarrow. Now, the reason I say this is because I've seen this from him. But against the Knights Templar, this is pretty risky.
He's going to open wheelbarrow?
We have seen people do this, and I think Lucifron... Yeah, there he goes. I'm telling you.
But I guess it makes sense. You pay 50-ish wood for mill plus wheelbarrow, and then your villagers just have way better kind of efficiency gathering, chopping the trees. But the Knight Templar, Lancaster is the Demon Civ of land maps. Yeah. Knight Templar is the Demon Civ of water. Let me tell you, they know how to swim in these waters, and I think Lucifron is going to have a pretty hard time against Knights Templar. Knights Templar just get so much wood passive, so much food through wood, and they can do so many different things. Their age-ups feel strong, their fishing feels strong. But the one good thing that there is for Lucifron is, yeah, there it is. So he is making fishing ships actively, and he will be able to produce a barracks. Now the question is, where does he go with it? Does he go for the gold? Does he just go straight for the dock? What is the plan? We're about to find out.
Now we are going to switch over to CSO's side so we can see where he's rallied towards, and it looks like he is going for the gold, I guess.
Yeah, and well, I think Lucifron is going to gather enough gold. We see a little pop cap there, but he's fine. Lucifron will gather enough gold to age up. Although he did get wheelbarrow, so he needs to get 200 gold in order to age up. And perhaps he will be stopped in further production of knights. Yeah, he sees that spearman and he goes, you know what, I need that. The good thing is he did get wheelbarrow, so not only he can run away faster, he can relocate the villagers, but he can actually attack the spearman a lot faster. So sometimes you can go in, poke the spearman, and you can't actually do much about it. But these guys are, look at that, they're fast AF, boy. Oh, there it is.
Well, CSO has definitely made a ton of spearmen out of this as well. You can see he's just living his best life. And it feels like his age up is not going to be slow at all. It's definitely, it might even be before. No, it's not going to be before. But it's pretty close.
Well, what's interesting about this is as Lucifron, so if anyone's wondering, like, why is he still mining gold? He wants to get enough gold to make a knight or two, or maybe double broadaxe a knight, you know, whatever he wants. So he's trying to, yeah, you can see he wanted 350 gold, but by doing that, he also delayed his own age up a little bit. So even though CSO didn't kill any villagers, he did delay the age up from the French, but I think this wheelbarrow actually is quite helpful, and the dock might be going down. Is Lucifron going to age up with like 8 villagers to try to match this? He's not aging up right now. Oh, there it is. Okay.
4 villagers, he says. Not too scared, but I would not be surprised if he pulls a few more. He is going to go back onto the gold and try to fight this. We do see that he wants the gold back, and he's going to go for it. But the dock might pay the price. The thing is, he could potentially build another dock. Ooh, no, he's just going for the mill. Now, what I learned about the mill recently is that they can drop off, but you have to manually do it. Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to, I was going to say to just spam mills around, but I guess you do want to dock. So, because I'm actually surprised that CSO is not moving a villager to dock this side, because I think that would be like a game-winning move. If he just puts a dock and gets a ship at the bottom pond, it will be very, very bad for Lucifron right now. But instead, he's actually more worried that he's going to get docked on the other side. So, yeah, it's looking pretty good for CSO. Now, if Lucifron manages to get a dock on the bottom pond, which I do think is happening right now, he will be... Yeah, it's going to be okay for him. You know, he's not going to take severe amounts of damage. He sees the dock, but a little bit too late. And that goblin villager gets the dock up. So Lucifron is going to be happy about that.
And he's going to run away really fast. You can see that. That man is
running that guy's running straight up. No, never mind.
He's got... Whoa. Now, he does get met with a villager, though. The villager's a little bit too late, like you said. We do see the first ship coming out now, and he should be able to shut this down. The spearmen, though, they are quite annoying, and he does get forced off of gold. But behind this, he is getting his first knight.
Yeah, and CSO did age up with Kingdom of France. There's spearmen everywhere. This is just like, as Lucifron, you're scared to even send your knight somewhere because there's just spearmen everywhere. He should be fine, yeah. It comes out. The dock, he will not be completing, so he will defend that, but already CSO is on 2 docks, and this is the problem in all this, Marika. So he needs to make an archer range, and yep, there's the chandelier confetti coming out. And with that, CSO, I am assuming, will go pure cavalry now. And Lucifron is this weird spot where, well, you want to make knights, but you can't make knights. You got to make archers, and your gold is idle. So it's just a bit problematic.
This does feel like there's no answer. Oh my goodness, no answer, I say. But a villager does go down. Lucifron, even being at a disadvantage, spears everywhere, he does manage to pick up a kill. And with the singular archer, he is able to push back quite a bit of units.
Yeah, and he's finally going to go back on the gold. He needs to actually take this pond, because if he doesn't, we see that the fishing has started in the top side, so slowly but surely he will need to take that to kind of grow his eco. Now the chandelier versus French knights, obviously French knights are going to win that, but oh my god, that was close. He almost runs into the spearman, but he ends up saving them. The charge goes off, and he might need to make a tower here or something in order to secure this. Oh, does not get the charge off. What do we see here? We see a little archer chasing the spearman. Fishing ship check. 4, 9 fishing ships only. Let's see, how many is... Oh, CSO is on 15 right now. So even though Knights Templar should be 3 villagers behind, plus he lost 1, plus French's faster villager production, they're basically almost equal right now, which is not what you want to have happen as Lucifron.
Now, with all those Chevaliers, you can see the Knight micro is perfect from Lucifron. He's pulling them back at the exact right second, and with these archers, he is trying to snipe down as much as possible. But like I said, this is already such a disadvantage without those boats and passive resources. I was about to switch over there. And now that second dock is coming up on the bottom lake as well, so he's hoping to get on the right side. He's hoping to get back into this, but that is a very unfortunate fish spawn to also have there. My goodness, poor guy. They're gonna have to go all the way. But now with the archers, he should be able to snipe down some of these low HP boys. But the thing is, they are very tanky, the rest of them. So that woodline that is now done means that he's gonna have to move out on a much more risky position. But see with those knights, is he gonna be able to... Yes.
Boom. One goes
Deleted.
down. Nice. The good thing about archers against chandeliers, the French knights have 3-3 armor, but the chandeliers only have 2-2. So actually making archers against them is not as bad as making them... Ooh, loses a knight. Ooh, almost gets surrounded. Okay, not great. Second pilgrim is coming up. Wheelbearer is coming up. He's going to need that to defend a harassment. And right now, Lucifron is going to be running away, but I feel like he is stabilizing slowly. But at the same time, we see 8 chandeliers with 4 more on the way. And if I know anything about CSO, he loves making knights. He loves making cavalry. But I don't think he's going to be stopping anytime soon. I think he's going to fully commit. And the moment he feels like he cannot do more damage, he will just age up very quickly with Knights Templar. And he will upgrade all his units and kind of just decide to go for it. So I think the Lucifron situation is definitely more scary.
And Lucifron needs to pull something out of the magic hat to deny something. And you can see now with the pilgrims, this is something he needs to deny, but he can't because he needs to be in his base denying here. Now the thing is as well, once the gold runs out, and yes, we're still very far away from that, this becomes a lot scarier. But you can see he respects the amount of knights here. 4 more in queue from CSO. He's got the resources to do this. You can see the difference in income between these two players, and it is colossal. With the food per minute just being so much higher for CSO with all those extra fishing ships, but also just from the wood gathering.
The one thing I really like for Lucifron is this side of the map is very, very nice. Look at this little wall here, and then he has all the wood over here chilling in the back. On the other side, CSO's wood lines are kind of demonic. I mean, they're all like either forward or just super exposed. So Lucifron is going to have a lot easier time harassing and doing damage. We see another... is that a villager? I think that might have been a spearman. So now we see chandeliers now coming in here. And you can see the archers are doing good amounts of damage to them. +1 is going to complete. We do not have +1 armor. So these guys only have 1 armor basically against the archers right now. And a lot of them are going down. I'm not really sure about these trades. 2 or 3 chandeliers go down, 1 knight. And a lot of them get out there basically half HP. And now we have 11 knights versus 15 chandelier knights. This kind of opens up some kind of timing for Lucifron, and CSO looks like he wants to age up.
And this is one thing about CSO's playstyle we've been seeing a lot. He does not go for military upgrades, and those archers, they were denting in a little bit. So we'll see if CSO changes his tune now. I was about to say CSGO again. So now this poor man, he's gonna need to face off against the knights, and unfortunately the pilgrim will get impaled. But he will still be able to deliver with the gold. 102 gold is secured, and that is pretty expensive for Lucifron.
That is a sacre bleu if I ever seen one. He will be losing 2 or 3 knights there. Yeah, another knight just went down right there in the forest. Yep, right there. So, not the greatest trade. So we see now, we were at however many knights. I think it was 13 against, or 12 against 15, and now it's 20 against 8, just like that. And we see Angevin Empire is coming out. He's gonna try to snipe these pilgrims. Oh, that is unfortunate. taps both to basically one auto and just manages to survive with both of them. So pretty unfortunate. Lucifron does not know that CSO is edging up because you obviously cannot tell with Knights Templar. So Lucifron is just committing to units fully. This is a very, very good fight for CSO, and Lucifron is nowhere near the edge up.
You can see Lucifron's front line is all the way back at the other base, and this is so tough for him. Now a few villages going down, but he does manage to push these back. Spearmen still keeping those knights busy at the back. They do have chivalry, so they will be able to heal back up. But we'll see if he can pick up a few of these. The knight groups are about to meet one another, but the age up coming through now should give Lucifron a lot of discouragement here.
Yeah, Lucifron wants to fight now. He wants to try kill these as much as possible, just trade out. He's not looking to win the game, he just wants to trade armies, because if CSGO, as you say, if he were to upgrade his units, then this becomes a lot harder fight for Lucifron. So CSGO is going to go back and get some of those units upgraded and just pick a better fight for himself in the future.
Now, we see him go right onto the archers, but apparently some of these pilgrims will get picked off, and less of them delivering the gold. But now the Chevalier Confrérie, oh my goodness, they are veteran, and that variety does not die to a bunch of silly little feudal age archers that easily. The knights cannot turn around and get the charges in as they want, just because of the spearmen. The beautiful micro here from Lucifron. You can see him focusing down every single chance he gets.
Yeah, he's microing really well, but there needs to be, light at the end of this tunnel, and he's actually just committing to more units, because if you stop making units, you will just die. So he's in an impossible situation where if you keep making units, we see Templar brothers are coming out right now, and these chandeliers might not be that much stronger than feudal knights, but the brothers are coming in, and well, those are going to be really hard to deal with. We see 1,100 wood. He's going triple barracks, trying to salvage this situation, but we also see the Angevin spearmen now coming out, which are basically man-at-arms spearmen, which are going to be very hard to deal with, actually, more so than the chandeliers and the brothers coming in.
And it does look like he does not give a damn anymore. He's diving right in. He's done with this game. CSO says, I'm done, boys. Let's go to the next one. But to be fair, this was a pretty well-held game by Lucifron. You can see Lucifron is still trying to win this fight, and he might be able to kill these units now, but the reinforcements, the brothers are here. Oh no.
Yeah, the economy is idle, and it's one of those things where he is holding, but not only he needs to hold, he needs to either stop the economy from CSO, so that CSO stops making units so the Lucifron can age up, because as long as CSO is making units, these trades are not very efficient for Lucifron.
I do see those numbers decreasing for CSO, but it's just because of the production block. He has a lot of brothers in the queue, and the knights, they are doing their best. Villagers now still being completely idle out here. He's trying to put most of them to work, but now the heavy spearmen arrive, and there is not a good answer to these guys.
Yeah, and now the heavy spearmen, I mean, he's just tanking. He's just tanking everything, and that's kind of this is the thing about water maps. It's the army the flood never stops, right? If this was a land map, this actually is pretty bad for CSO, because he will run out of food. He's going to need to move out to berries eventually, but because of all the fishing ships, the army will never stop. Now, 7-9 spearmen in queue for Lucifron. He is holding, but if we look at the workers killed, it's 24 right now, and these are just workers. So, he held. That's great. Now, what we need from Lucifron is to find a way to age up. And I think for CSO's sake, he did a lot of damage. Now, he needs to transition to perhaps crossbows, or maybe do something crazy like even go Imperial, maybe get some relics, and we see the age up coming with the Royal Institute. Now, the Royal Institute on this map, Guildhall is not as good just because of all the food economy that you have, but at the same time he might be going Royal Institute because he's like, I need to survive right now. I don't have time for Guildhall because it's basically a useless landmark for the next 10 minutes.
Makes a lot of sense, because with that, he has enough gold to actually get these upgrades. But you can see, the brothers have arrived, and that age up is about to hit, but the problem is just then it's going to be a completely idle economy. We can see that there are going to be opportunities to get these upgrades. Villagers now standing there celebrating their finished build, but he needs to get them back into the DC. Instead, he opts to fight with them, but it is Jover.
Yeah, and well, basically that's what happens, right? Like, if Lucifron kept making units, he doesn't die, but you need to age up. And then if you age up and your opponent is making units, well, that happens. That's why I said it's an impossible situation, because one delays the game, but you're still dying. One, you age up and then you die. So pretty rough there for Lucifron, but again, this is the reason why Knights Templar are so good on water, and why you kind of have to ban them or pick them, or at least have some kind of very specific plan against them.
And it now being 2-2 must feel pretty tough, because I think for Lucifron, he lost French, and French has been a civ that is very good on that map. But again, he did lose it against Knights Templar, so I'm actually surprised about the picks, because you can now see that with him losing French, that was a second pick for him. He definitely felt like he had a potential to do something about that. But guys, we are ready to hop into the next one. I am watching it here on my second screen as well. We are 40 seconds in. We've caught up, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go.
It's time for Delhi versus Zushi. Let's roll on in. And now.
So I was checking out the civs. So Lucifron still has some aggressive civs. I think if I remember correctly, he has Byzantine, he has Delhi, he has JD still left. So kind of all aggressives. Wait, it's 2-2 now?
Yeah.
I thought it's 3-1. My bad. I'm old. What can I say? So we will be seeing Delhi versus Jushi Legacy. Now, generally, pretty good for Jushi's Legacy. Now, I also know that CSO loves playing Jushi's Legacy, but Lucifron, very familiar with Delhi. You know, it's not a civ that he is not comfortable with. And, oh god, Marika.
Oh, are we looking at the spawns?
Oh
no.
There's a name for this type of spawn, and I can't remember now what it is. Someone in Twitch can tell me, but if you're playing against a pro scouting civ, you don't want to have all their deer be in the corner of the map. Not only that, but he needs like 50 wood to wall off all these deer. And
he could skip pro scouts.
This is one of the rare games where you can actually be like, I'm playing a pro scouting civ, but my spawn is so good, I can just skip pro scouting. I can just go there and get those deer, and there's actually nothing you can do about it. So, pretty depressing for Lucifron. Now, if you look at his spawn, he's got forward berries, a double forward berry, excuse me. One deer is kind of I mean, those berries are just, they're like in front of the wood line. And the second one is in the middle of the map, and then, yeah, pretty unfortunate. Now, if you're CSO, you have two options. Actually, you have a lot of options CSO. As Lucifron, you kind of have to commit to getting Sacred Sites. As CSO, you can actually skip pro scouting. You can get pro scouting. But then you also have an option to play super defensive with all the food. Or you can all in Lucifron because his food is so exposed. So, pretty unfortunate, but we'll see what he can do. Now, if the roles were reversed, if you know, Lucifron is his spawn, this gives him a lot better fighting chance. But because Jushi is already very good in this matchup, I think this is going to be an uphill battle. But let's see what Lucy Chad can do against Counter-Strike.
No, with the Meditation Garden, he does place this quite in a it's a juicy spot. A juicy spot for a juicy spawn. He's got a little bit of stone here. I love that.
You gotta look at the positives. At least he didn't get like double barrier plus double gold.
That yes.
Imagine if you could build it on deer. You just get food.
Right.
Just gets the double food. So that, you know, you gotta look at the positives. See, on the left side right there. Imagine if those were a bit closer. He could have had double gold, double berry. So
like a spawn. Yeah, if the gold spawned on this side. Ooh. Yeah,
there's a Serbian saying which is like, you can always be worse.
Yeah.
So it could have been worse. But you know, if I'm Lucifer and I see this, I go, Oh, he doesn't see that
doesn't
yet.
know
Okay,
yet.
listen, it's one of those. The longer he doesn't know about it, the better it is for his mental state. Because
Yes.
if he saw this at the start, he'd be like, Jesus Christ, this is I
Yeah.
can't. But you know, he might not scout it. So that's the good part about it.
Then he won't feel discouraged. But he's got to ask himself, where am I going to be able to do damage? And honestly, where is he going to be able to do damage? Because
Oh,
even
the gold
here,
is back too.
yeah, he's just going to be able to, do a tiny little wall. To be fair, he could sneak through here. This also requires a little bit of
That's
wood.
gonna be a walled off.
Yeah,
area,
but
so.
just it requires wood. Bright side.
If I'm Lucifron, honestly, I probably capture Sacred Sites with minimum amount of units and I go castle.
I was gonna say, if I'm Lucifron, I pay someone to DDoS me right now. Or to crash my game.
I pay for a new spawn.
You spawn, yeah.
Coming in new DLC of AA4. You pay $5 and you get back deer. I'll pay for that.
You pay for that? Yeah.
For tournament games?
Yeah.
Yeah, $5. That's a good deal right there. So yeah. I think that, can we check his vision? I think he's going towards the disaster zone. Yeah, because he's like, you know what? The deer might be on the right side, and he's scouting this. He's like, oh, okay, his woodlines are there.
Little
Okay.
scout action.
Yeah, he still doesn't know. He's still, in his mind, he's still like, this is not, look, he's checking where the deer are.
Yeah.
And the deer are not there, brother. Now he's confused. Now he goes, wait, where's the second deer pack? And it's like, no. That's not the second deer pack. Because if that's the second deer pack, Mareka, oh no. And this is where he goes, I don't know what he says in Spanish. I was going to say sacre bleu, but not that.
No, that's the Marine Lord.
I know some bad words in Spanish, but we're not going to do that. So, but he definitely said those.
Yes.
Out loud. Maybe a little sigh.
Yes.
Not of relief. Frustration.
It does feel like he's in the impossible situation right now. And he knows it. Like, I mean, you can see with 2 Gazis, he's getting his 3rd now. We'll see if he commits to this, because he obviously knows that there's a horseman on the field. He just saw this. But he needs to find a way to kill some scout. Just do something, at least. But you can see now, upgrades coming in. He's making scholars. He's trying his best. He's pulled off of gold. Oh, I was saying that. And then I see he puts 3 on gold now.
You know what's funny? He could actually lose sheep and then that gets pro scouted. If I'm CSI, I try to kill those sheep so I can pro scout those too. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rough. You can see he doesn't even try because he sees the horseman. And again, at the pro level, sometimes the spawns are, irrelevant, but in this kind of situation, I definitely feel bad for Lucy. Oh god, he's clicked it. Yeah, he's gonna try to kill the sheep. He might yoink it immediately.
Okay, we need to see that. Oh, he doesn't. That's respectful.
He's gonna yoink that. Maybe not now, but he's taking it. And we see Spearman already coming out, so...
We're experiencing this from Lucifron's mind.
Oh, he killed
right
another sheep, and he's gonna kill another sheep. Oh god.
So
yeah, that's...
Oh,
it is what it is, Breaker,
The thing is, we're experiencing this from Lucifron's point of view now. We're not even watching the game normally. So, this is... Everything you guys are experiencing right now, this is what Lucifron's experiencing. This man, he feels demotivated, but look at that. Now, a spearman getting a pretty good impale here. And he's trying to capture the sacred sites, but we'll see now. It does look like these bad boys are going to be rotating and trying to pick off one of the scholars.
Okay. Very good reaction. He runs away immediately. He recognizes, you know what, I can't capture that. Now let's talk about sacred sites. That one on the right side, actually those 2 on the right, they're kind of close to CSO. Well, I mean, the right one is equal distance from both. But there's some very easy walling he can do. Not to wall the sacred sites, but to wall the whole side of the map. So that's a good thing. Another good thing is if Lucifron wins this game, I feel like mentally you have so much momentum. Because if you win an unfavorable matchup with very bad spawn, you're feeling good about next. Because you're like, well, if I won that, I mean, I can win any matchup. So 2 sacred sites for now for him is very nice. We see palace guards coming. I gotta say, I hate that.
That you hate that as it's a bad move?
Yeah, okay. I hate that because palace guards are actually not great against archers, but they're actually very much not great against Gazi Raiders because they have bonus damage against armored units. Yes. So in other matchups, I don't mind the mass palace guards from this point on because I think it can overwhelm a lot of civs. Against Delhi specifically, not a big fan of it, but he does have very, very good economy, so he might be able to completely overwhelm his opponent.
Well, Lucifron is able to pull off of the sacred, pull off of the gold because he's got the sacred side income. But we can see those horsemen are actually also decapping these sacred sides now with the spearman just standing on top. And it does look like Lucifron is able to pick things off every now and again. And even just picking off a spearman like this is so valuable. And he's about to run into this palace guard transition as well.
He just moved away from the sacred side. Oh, never mind. He decapped it. Okay. Alright, cool. So he's gonna decap 1, but honestly, controlling 2 in this matchup, I would consider that a win. Like, I don't think this is a, like, oh no situation for Lucifron. I think controlling 2 at this state of the game is very, very good. Now, he will start his own pro scouting, so this will halt his Ghazi production, and he is not aware that there's palace guards. So, because if he knew that there's palace guards, he would keep spamming Ghazi raiders, but the fact that he only has 5 right now, I think he's just unaware, and I think CSO has been kind of hiding them to the side, and Zugino now coming, and this is where it's kind of getting a little bit spicy.
And he does go double blacksmith though, so this is going to take a while to kick in, but this is pretty good. Like, he just needs to be given the time to actually handle against the Zugino. But we do see no more Ghazi raiders coming on in, but now with the horsemen, he does feel like, oh, I just need to deal with these, right? No, but he does have his Ghazis at the bottom here. We'll see if he does make a move towards there. The palace guards are about to reveal themselves, though.
Yeah, so this is one of the things where it's very hard to know when you're playing. So someone might be like, why is he showing palace guards? She actually moves them back a little bit there. So you can see he put them on the sacred side, then he moved them back. But sometimes it's hard to know, like, did my opponent actually see them? Because if he knew that Lucifron didn't see them, he would never reveal them there. And again, only 6 Ghazis. Now, another thing about palace guards is while they're going to be tanking this feudal age, having scholars can actually out-heal their damage quite easily. But that's why we have a lot of Zugino coming as well. Still, 2 sacred sides pretty much for the past 3-4 minutes is very, very nice for Lucifron. Now, market is in, which means he will most likely be buying food. Because you're not going to be selling wood, I'm assuming. You're going to be buying food. Which kind of leads me to believe that Lucifron is going to commit to feudal age.
And Lucifron committing to feudal age, I mean, this bodes pretty well for him, right? Because eventually, Zushi is gonna run out, right? Right?
Well,
Zuginu are gonna stop doing that much damage, right?
Yeah, he's back on Ghazi. He understands now what the comp is. He's just producing everything. I would say player-wise, style-wise, this is better for Lucifron. Lucifron has definitely played way more games like this, but Jushi Legacy is better Civ in Feudal Age. So we'll see if Lucifron is going to be able to take better fights. He's got so much wood actually. Needs to do something with that. He's going to try to do an engagement here. I think this is just too many units, and the moment he goes in, I think he realizes, yeah, maybe I should not do that. But the reason he needs to stay here is because of this deer, America. He needs to get that, because if CSO gets these, he will definitely not be doing well in this game.
You can see he's got 800 plus wood right now, and he's trying to make archers as well. He picks up one of the deer, but the palace guards are here at the front. He does bring it a little bit closer to the base, but now the archers are trying to fire back. The horsemen going right onto the villagers though, or they're trying to do a flank here, but it does look like they will not be getting anything out of it just yet. Palace guards at the front line. He does kite backwards, and it does look like Lucifron will hold, but I don't know if this is going so well for him.
I think there's too many units. He needs to pull out scholars. Like, the unit count looks equal, but that's with 14 scholars. Now this can be a very good fight for Lucifron if he pulls the scholars with the TC garrison 15 villagers. He can actually trade out really well, and I think one of the things you don't want to do against Delhi is these type of fights with scholars. But Lucifron, I don't know if he's feeling confident, but the scholars are just chilling in the mosques. They're not coming out, and I would say that went as well as it could for Lucifron. Lost one villager only during all of that. Traded out some army, but the army count once again is looking pretty healthy for him. But Mareka,
that's all you can do.
There's something that I think might be arriving. Oh no, he actually... Okay, so CSO just had 800 food, and I thought he might be edging up, but he just queued up 5 palace guards and 10 more Zugnu. So he's smelling something here. maybe trying to just end the game completely, did deny the deer, and he's just gonna go for it.
Now the question is just how long does Lucifron have before his food runs out? You can see the food income per minute is so much in the favor of CSO, and now he's got access to that extra deer pack, and now the villagers are going to be here at the front lines, and these guys are going to get picked off by the Jugunu if given the shot. But the Ghazi Raiders are going forward right into the ramps though. Scholars have been pulled, and the thing is they heal the Palace Guard's damage, but do they heal the Jugunu damage?
I think you kind of want to put them in front so they die, to be honest. You don't need more upgrades. This is a very all-in feudal game. So I think putting them in front and letting them die to Zugunu is probably the best thing that he can do. And we see that CSO right now lost the front line completely. The Zugunu are going to start getting picked off at the same time, but he needs more Ghazis now, which is... Oh, Lucifron mismicroing a little bit. He needs more Ghazis, which is very rough because I think his food situation is probably looking pretty bad at this point.
Now he does queue up a few more Ghazis and he doesn't reveal them just yet, but it might also just be because they're not close enough yet. But the archers are trying their best. The scholars tanking up a bit of this damage, but the mass is still looking so scary. The Ghazis now getting on top of the Palace Guards. Oh, never mind. They want the Jugs, but the Jugs do so well. Palace Guards are just left to fight.
Yeah, you can see that they can't kill anything because it's just getting out-healed completely. So, very close game. Very close game right now, and I think sometimes these kinds of games leads to whoever has more food, and you can see that Lucifron's food income is going down. On the left side he had some villagers which he did manage to get harassed right now, so those villagers are chasing that horseman, and CSO is gonna redirect there. Okay, he notices, that's good. He did not run into him. 4 villagers killed, Sacred Site's decapped, and the food income is looking terrible right now. And if we take a look, the berries of Lucifron are right there where CSO's army is, and I think Lucifron is just out of food.
Now, there's nowhere Lucifron can go for food except for forward, which is probably just going to be another death sentence. He does wall it off and forces the army to split up a little bit. He's going to be able to pick off a few here, but he's out of firepower right now, and honestly, this is a very tough position to be in. You can see him also trying to farm transition and feudal. And as a Delhi player, let me tell you, that does not feel good.
Yeah, can we check on CSO side? Where's he getting the food? Okay, so he just gathered a whole berry patch, and I think he is about to... Oh, okay, he still has double berry patch, and he could go double boar. So he has plenty of food to go around. Again, this is, you know, at the top level, sometimes games like these, having these kinds of spawns can affect the game quite a bit. I would say pretty unfortunate game for Lucifron, but I think CSO is doing everything right, and I think the reason he is committing is because he recognized halfway through the game, you know what, a lot of your food is forward. If I just commit here, you're going to have a very hard time. And right now Lucifron is on 100 food per minute. And you can see that his unit production has not really moved. The age up for CSO
is imminent. And it's 42 Jugunu. You are not going to be able to shut that down with 5 Ghazis.
And he's aging up with 25 because he knows as long as I just age up and I attack, the game will be over. So he's going to age up. I'm assuming that we're going to see supervision on Blacksmith and the Archer range. And he's just going to go for it. Now, Lucifron, this is the nightmare, and he knows it's over. So, now this is a test where how good his mental is, because this is where a lot of players fall apart. It's this game right here, because you go... Basically, from the maps that they had left, I think they had... If we can take a look at the draft in a little bit. Basically, Lucifron had Byzantine, JD, and Delhi. And the maps remaining were Dry Arabia, Bald Land, and Gorge? So, he was like, okay, do I pick Delhi? Do I pick JD? Do I pick Byzantine? And sadly, he got a pretty bad matchup and a pretty bad spawn. Like if he got JD or if he got Byzantine into Jushi, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
On the other side, maybe he expected Jushi is going to come out on Bald Land. We see CSO still has China and Ottoman.
Ooh.
So I think maybe he thinks like, okay, Ottoman maybe goes Gorge or China. So I'm going to just pick Delhi. Maybe he's expecting Ottoman on Dry Arabia.
But we do have Bald Land, and the drafts will be showing soon, and it's China versus JD. Now, Lucifron's JD, though, I'm not worried for him after seeing what he does.
CsOH China is pretty good, though.
I know. He's playing home map.
Yeah.
Because China. Or home serve.
Yeah, so basically, when you play a best of 7, this is where drafting is very important, because someone might say, well, that's just lucky for CSO that he got that Civ, but leading up to that, there's a lot of options you could have taken to avoid these drafts. So one thing that a lot of people do is in a best of 7, if Delhi had a lot of counter picks in this draft, like China and Jushi are very good against Delhi. So some players would pick Delhi immediately to reduce the amount of basically chance for you to get a terrible matchup.
Makes sense.
But looking at this, you had China, Jushi, and Lucifron at Delhi, so the chances of him getting a bad matchup is very high.
50-50.
Yeah, so right now he has JD against China, and then the last matchup would be Byzantine versus Ottoman, which I would favor Lucifron.
Yeah.
So if Lucifron wins here, he's going to go as favorite into the last game. But again, this is where the mental situation needs to be checked, because that last game is pretty rough to lose.
Yeah, I can imagine people tilting off the face of the earth after experiencing that. Guys, I do see in the chat that you guys are writing Nova 3. Guys, it's coming in soon. We have possibly 2 games until we will see who wins the Nova 3, alongside who qualifies. So guys, it is time for us to go into Bald Land. The baldest of the lands, Lucifron and CSO. So, Lucifron starting it off with a house. No crazy shenanigans. I'm really happy to see that, but that's something normal against China. You do not go crazy shenanigans in the Dark Age against this. Although, the goal is quite far. My goodness.
I'm a bit surprised, actually.
Yeah.
I think JD opening barracks is not very uncommon, and especially against China. It's one of those things where if you go pro scouting and China goes pro scouting, it's just better for China. So sometimes opening barracks can kind of delay their pro scouting a little bit. And looking at the spawns, if I'm CSO, I'm happy. Now, this is not as bad as the last game, but he has triple berry patch in the back of his base, whereas Lucifron's is spread around all around the map. So it is not going to be as impactful, like I said, as the last game. This will mostly be decided, I would say, in the pro scouting stage, where can Lucifron get some damage with Knights in? Can CSO escort the scouts back home? Is Lucifron even going to go for pro scouting? Is something we need to see. So it's going to be a feudal battle once again, and we'll see what Lucifron can do.
So basically, this would be a lovely spawn for Byzantines, though. Oh my god.
Or Jushi Legacy. Imagine Jushi there.
So it could have been worse, actually.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine if he picked China last game and Jushi here. So yeah, it could have been worse. But you know what? He's got to take it slow, and it must be, they're tired. It's late. Mareka's tired. You guys are tired. I'm tired. But these guys still got to play. They got to focus. And they might be playing for another 2 hours. Who knows?
Don't say that. Poor guys.
Who knows? We might have a double 1 hour game, Imperial trading, just Guildhall having 10,000 gold inside of it. And they got to keep their composure. They got to keep playing. And I think for CSO, maybe some kind of strategy. This is where the mind games has come in. Ooh. Maybe for CSO, some kind of fast YOLO committing push would be good, just to maybe put pressure on Lucifron, maybe tilt him a little bit. Whereas Lucifron, I think you're in the mindset of okay, let's just extend the series. Let's just recover a little bit. We don't want to make any hasty decisions right now.
The thing is, we saw Lucifron on French earlier, and even when he was behind, he still found a way to crawl back into it. So with him now being on equal footing from the start by not playing against KT, he's probably not going to be in too much danger. I do feel like he may have learned from that last game in terms of not knowing that my opponent is going for a bunch of palace guards. and he will not let anything fly under the radar. He'll definitely go and have a proper look. This sheep count, not 100% even. I think that CSO did get 1 or 2 extra, but it's still pretty decent. Now, we have to look at what the next move is. No Dark Age wheelbarrow. Very nice.
Not this time around. So, yeah, it's gonna be edging up with 3. It looks like it honestly might be instantly scouts, or it might be 1 knight. I kind of like the knight opening, because I feel like you always put pressure, maybe force them to go barracks. If you go immediately into scouts, I mean, yeah, you have 1 like scout more, but then the opponent is just chilling back in the base. So I think this is going to be a knight. Yeah, Lucifron also likes to, you know, get some pressure going. When you see 5 right now on gold, which is...
That's pro scouting material, right?
I mean, it's either pro scouting or just mass knights with no pro scouting, which would be very surprising considering he will be running out of food very quickly. So I think it's just pro scouting. 6 on gold now. Okay.
That's a lot on gold.
Oh, 5 on gold now. He needs that gold? Oh, JD's there. Okay, that makes sense.
Damn, girl. You building that building. Very
Reka,
nice.
melee or range JD?
Okay, so we're playing against China, so you probably want to go... You want to go ranged.
That's going to be melee.
Really? Why? Because of the spearman mass...
Yeah, so China in matchups against knights loves to go for mass spearmen horsemen.
Okay.
So going range will actually... You can't protect it against horsemen, so...
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering what the play is.
Or if he goes ranged, you will see why you don't go ranged. But I would assume it's melee. Also, actually playing against JD is very annoying as pro scouting civ, because they just send JD across the map and you can't kill her. Because you can't kill her with spearmen, you can't kill her with horsemen. So it's very just annoying, I guess, to play against her. So that knight is moving across the map, trying to snack. He's going to go for the wood line straight away. He is not playing around.
And we see the scouts already moving into position for the bro scouting. Bro scouting coming out from CSO as well. He is queuing up more scouts, no military units, and the first villager does go down.
Wow.
Beautiful pickup there.
That's a good start. That's a good start, right? I mean, that's what you want. And right now, so the reason why he is picking up, and yeah, we see that melee JD, the reason why he's picking up deer on the middle first is not because it's necessarily closer, it's because he is going for knights. So he wants to pick those up so that the spearmen are less efficient on the sides, and CSO wants to pick up the middle ones because he doesn't want to delay by taking the side deer, because the knights might... yeah, and this is where JD is just annoying, because you can't make 2 spears and defend against her, so she's just going to bully these... Okay. Just pops that.
Oh my gosh,
Minus
that's going to be
1.
pro scouted.
Yeah, for sure.
Now the knight is still running around, causing some idle time at the TC there, but we do see the villagers have been rerouted onto the straggler trees as well. That knight definitely getting his money worth. Now, with the amount of scouts, JD knows exactly what's up. And 2 spearmen are actually up, with a horseman joining that fight as well. So we'll see how she matches up, but there is 1 singular knight to support her in all this. We can see that knight is still being annoying, still being active, but 1 horseman might not be enough to stop this.
Yeah, and I think that knight and scouter, they're kind of working together, trying to find where the scouts are, and I think he just spotted those. Yeah, so he's gonna redirect there, and this is where pro scouting against JD is kind of annoying, because if this was just French, you send a couple of spearmen and you're chilling, but this JD is creating a lot of problems now. CSO yoinked the 2 deer from the bottom, so he's gonna take those home. Lucifron is not suspecting, but he finds the top scouts as well, and this is just... It's not a disaster, it's not like game ending, but this is not how you want your game to go if you're CSO, because Lucifron is 6 scout pro scouting, and his are completely uninterrupted. There is some spearmen, but 4 spearmen against 3 knights soon, and JD is actually not enough. So, very good start for Lucifron, and he already has archers.
Now the thing about the archers is CSO has been someone who doesn't overcommit on getting spearmen. He instantly switches to horsemen pretty quickly, a lot faster than most other players. And it has been paying off for him. So we'll see if that is going to pay off today. Let's see what this horseman can do. They will be shutting down one of these scouts, But the knight might be... Oh my goodness, he lives! I called it too soon!
Oh, yeah, that knight. Yeah, kills the scout. Now, what's annoying at this point is both players do not want to be remaking scouts because that means less horsemen and less knights. So even though scouts are cheap, killing them actually kills your production time. So it's indirectly killing your horsemen and killing your knights. So you do not want to be losing scouts. It is a very dangerous game, and like the favor can tip in one player's side very, very quickly. So CsO is trying to pick up the horsemen. You can see Lucifron is also trying to find the horsemen or try to find the scouts. So they're both playing the same game, basically avoiding each other's armies. More so CsO because he has just horsemen. But he only has 5 spearmen. I'm getting a bit worried with the amount of units that he has compared to Lucifron.
And Lucifron definitely investing a little bit more into waiting, getting those initial scouts, but that is a lot of horsemen, and now he knows. We can see from the bottom there, the knights are trying to gang up a little bit, and now the 2 screens will connect. And the thing is, the horsemen are quite fast, so they're not going to mind too much, but it does allow for CsO to pick up a few more deer.
Marika, he's going castle. And I am not sure if that's a great idea. Now, if Lucifron does not scout this, that's a great idea. If Lucifron sees this, that's going to be very bad news for CsO, because he has 6 spearmen and 6 horsemen. Lucifron can kill him with just knights at this point. So he's buying a lot of time, CsO is. Like you can see he's harassing, and this is where maybe as Lucifron you go, okay, that's a bit weird. You've had 6 horsemen for a while, and I haven't seen a 7th horse or an 8th horse, so... That's a bit suspicious, and you can see potentially Lucifron is moving everything forward because he does not see any attempt from CsO to prevent pro scouting or fight around the map, and he is going straight to the gold. So this is where the experience comes in. He is realizing, okay, he is actually going castle. I need to punish the gold. He's gonna come here. He sees the villagers, he sees the tower, and he's about to hear the age up.
Now, this is going to mean he's going to be denied off of gold, but there is enough gold to get upgrades here, and there is enough gold to get out a few lancers if that's the choice, and that is the choice. But there should be enough for the spears as well. The problem is just there's so many archers here. So does he just go clean spear or clean lancers?
Whoa. Imperial official goes on. That is not
That's
good.
Big.
I'm actually very surprised he is going lancers, because going lancers means I am mining gold, so I'm just gonna keep making lancers. That scout, I don't know where he's going. But Lucifron is immediately going to the back gold, and we see CsO is kind of doing a little bit of YOLOing in the back. He just sent all his villagers to mine the gold in the back, and Lucifron is immediately going to go to it. And as much as lancers are cool, you do not want to have castle knights fighting against 12 feudal knights. That will not go well for you. So you would much rather invest the gold into spearmen, into horsemen. We see a little raid coming in the other side. 0 worker kills, so good reaction from Lucifron. And this is getting very, very scary for CsO right now. He cannot upgrade his spearmen. He doesn't have +1 ranged armor. He's making another lancer. Those villagers are chopping from the wrong side.
They were running away from the gold. Those were just the desperate.
So I am not liking this for CsO at all. If he was mining gold, this is a very good spot for him, and it's very much playable. But at the same time, Lucifron is putting so much pressure, and he's looking like he's about to hit castle very soon, or start going castle very, very soon. So I'm really liking his position. Calm and collected. Not affected by the last game, apparently.
Clearly, he is just playing his best. And that is the beauty of Lucifron. We're going to see that Royal Institute coming down now, because with 15 knights, oh my god! Guild Hall is like, well, I can play the long game. I don't need a Royal Bloodlines. And we've actually been seeing this from a handful of players who are just like, I'm pretty fine. I can either kill him or I can go Imperial, and that's still fine.
Yeah, so I mentioned... Oh, he yoinked 2 deer. I think those are from the gold. So I mentioned how this game will most likely be decided in feudal. Now, if we check... There's, can we check Lucifron's deer situation? I mean, I feel like they have somewhat similar amount. I think CsO had more sheep. But what's interesting is Lucifron will not be eating as much food as CsO will. Because Lucifron has JD, so he's actually more efficient with his food. Now, this is where the triple berry patch in the back is going to come in handy. Because that is very safe food that he's not going to need to worry about.
Now we do see, for some reason, CSO feels like, okay, this is my time to push out. Now, obviously, when your opponent ages up, this does feel like the moment, but the thing is, that's a lot of knights, and I don't think you want to be running into those bad boys anytime soon. He does pull back, and does look like those knights are not going to make their charge. I was actually going to say they're going to make their charge, but no. No, the charge ends just before one of the scouts will go down, but luckily the pro scouting meta has been completed for this game, and China is still in Tang though, so this doesn't mean that he's getting ahead economically.
What's interesting is CSO abandoned the Lancer idea completely. He's saying, okay, I'm on gold, but actually I don't want to go Lancers now because you just upgraded your knights. So it doesn't make sense for him to go from 5 knights to try to catch up to 15. And not to mention Lucifron can make the crossbows. So he's just going to abandon that idea. Slightly surprised that he's not opting to go into crossbows from this point on, and you can see Lucifron, he knows, he's like, I know your gold is there, I know you snacking on some berries there, and he's gonna maybe camp that monastery, and I honestly don't know what CSO's plan is, because his army, usually China has more units, but less of a high-tech units, but in this case he has horsemen, spearmen, and he has less units at the same time.
And it doesn't feel like those spearman investments he's getting into is going to help him much because he is faced off against a ton of archers.
I mean, to put it this way, if JD is level 3, he can kill him with knights and JD. He doesn't need archers. Like, that's the severity of this situation that CSO, I feel like, is facing. And Lucifron has 1.5k food. And that's the beauty of JD. You don't need as much food. He does need a lot of gold, though.
Now, with these knights, he's able to, with these lances, he's going to be able to find some, I say find some damage, but the scout is already in position, and the answer is no, he will not. We instantly see the pullback here from Lucifron, but you can see the army value difference between these two.
Yeah, Lucifron actually this happens very often, I feel like, with so many players, forgetting that you can capture sacred sites with JD. Because if he capture both sacred sites, that would push him to almost level 3. And you get some gold income, which is always nice. So his army is still better, but I feel like you kind of need to choose a fight eventually, because even if 1 or 2 Nest of Bees come out, this game becomes really awkward for Lucifron then. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is fortunate.
That is very fortunate.
That is, yeah, that's fortunate.
He does, he does not realize, yeah. But we can see CSO is trying to do a little bit of damage to Lucifron by just having these horse raids, and we saw this from him. He does this. He loves running around and just raiding constantly. And Lucifron is going to say no to that. But the berry patches here at the back, he is very aware that this is not attainable though. The front gold now, the thing is, once this is depleted, I feel like his power runs out a little bit. We do see now a CSO sandwich being made from the top and the bottom, but there's a big knight army who will turn around back on him. Now JD, she's here to tank that damage, and she loves getting a shot off there. The monk stays alive as well, and the horses need to back off. But we do see that army in here getting pushed off instantly. The wall's really doing the work.
Yeah, I think Lucifron, I mean, honestly, if you get 2 relics as JD here, I would be pretty happy with that. That JD is gonna stay alive. Lucifron has a lot of knights, and I'm a bit surprised. He's kind of getting caught up in this chasing around game with CSO, because if Lucifron takes the 22 knights and just goes across the map, CSO would be losing a lot of villagers, but he looks like... So this is the difference between, I feel like, Vortex and Lucifron. Vortex would 100% just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go across the map, and if we're base trading, we'll just base trade, and this game is gonna be really weird. Whereas Lucifron is like, I'm just gonna go Imperial instead. And because CSO, oh my god, CSO's food economy is down the gutter right now. He's making some Nest of Bees. He's looking like he's trying to make a death army. But at the same time, if Lucifron hits Imperial, the game again kind of becomes just awkward for CSO, because I'm not sure where you go from there.
CSO wants to go to the economy the whole time. He's really trying. I mean, the guild hall, it has not been unloaded just yet, and it will be able to push him to Imperial. But we'll see if he does move out to the middle. He probably wants to get that red palace right there in the middle.
The question is, do you go the greedy route and you... Again, I feel like Vortex would put red palace on the bottom gold, but I think Lucifron is going to put it on the top big gold. Like in between maybe, or on the sacred side or something like that.
Oh, Vortex is this kind of guy.
Yeah, Vortex would put that and put like 40 villagers and gather it all out. So we can see he is almost Imperial, but not quite. And CSO's food economy is just bad. He's transitioning to farms right now. I'm surprised he's not on the berries, but he just seems like, you know what, I'm just gonna slowly go farms, and we see that red palace. Yeah, even more defensive than I thought. Okay, flop that. He's gonna get double gold there, so that's gonna be very nice. And CSO is kind of oblivious to it. That is not a lot of farms, Marika.
That is not a Chinese economy they make the threads about, unfortunately. JD discovered that she can stand on these bad boys.
Yeah.
He's probably happy. He's like, I'm getting level 3, boys, for 20 minutes, and it's about to get level 3.
Yeah, actually very, considering how aggressive the openers are, very passive game. A lot of running, not a lot of fighting.
Oh, and we can see that that wall we've been looking at for a while, he just keeps trying to break through here, but the villagers are in position, and they're standing at the ready. 53 gold left for anyone who dares come near, going straight onto the food. And now the age up has hit. No upgrades in queue yet, because they are a slight bit expensive, but a few of the lances do take a few cheap shots.
And I think this is where a CSO you go, oh no. And look at that, he's gonna try to transition to farms ASAP. So he's gonna be investing all the wood into the farms so you can actually get the Imperial at a point. Now, I think Lucifron might be going for a timing because he is upgrading military first, which he should know that he's probably not going to die, but maybe he either wants to play it safe or he wants to commit to doing a push here and just kind of go for it. And I think these units are just going to be super, super strong. Now, surprisingly, Lucifron does not have ranged armor, which I guess he doesn't need against China. But he doesn't have +2 ranged attack, which he's getting right now. So this is going to be pretty strong timing. Some raiding in the back. He might kill some villagers. Let's see if Lucifron sees it. I hope he does see it.
It feels like Lucifron is just moving back and forth. He's not committing to anything. Like, every single time those horses attacked at the back, he just moved back. But, okay, the second group is going now. JD is level 3, and the archers do have a little bit of snacking doing, while CSO is doing a little bit of snacking himself. A lot of kills here. JD going right onto that barbican, stomping on the ground. Pretty big pickup, and another Imperial official.
Well, that is a lot of villagers that just went down. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, he could have just run away, but then you have idle time, so maybe he thought, you know what, I'm just gonna kill this quickly. +2 is coming out. He has the upgrade. CSO, you can see he has not been making a lot of units. He wants to age up too. And I think Lucifron needs to push now, or he's gonna be equal footing once again, which is something I don't think he wants. He does have double sacred side, so he could maybe go for that. We see stone being mined, so maybe he will be adding a little keep here. Go for that sacred side W. The knights are coming, and I really think he needs to
attack.
He needs to attack, yeah.
The Great Wall Gatehouse also doesn't feel like it will cover most of the farms, but we do see this army now.
I mean, that's not a lot. That is 16 farms, which is, yeah. But they're farms.
Yeah, there's some food income coming, but the knights, they are going for the barbican for some reason. They do not want any defensive buildings here, but those nest of bees could do a little bit of damage to that big army. The thing is now, CSO does not have the resources for these imp upgrades, and it's going to be really tough, but he does have 62 spears.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, okay, you got Imperial, but it's like, you can just attack from this side, right? The wood is not protected, and he just has no gold. He will be upgrading elite spearmen, but there's 33 archers, and Lucifron is just eliminating him with knights, like the good old way. Oh, he sees nest of bees. He's like, hold up, I don't want to go there. Hold up, wait a minute. Ooh, watch, oh my god. Watch out.
That was a lot of damage on such an army. The thing is just, it feels like he's playing a lot more passive than he usually does in terms of actually, you know, pushing. He's a man who knows how to make a ram. But it just doesn't feel like he's ready to do so. He doesn't want to commit, he doesn't want to risk anything.
Oh no, the villagers get caught, and that's gonna be... these horsemen are just a menace. At this point, you stonewall your base, you know? And CSO is basically sitting in his base. His economy is growing slowly. Lucifron's... Marika, don't look at his food. Oh, you looked.
Oh no.
Yeah, not a lot of food income. But Guildhall, can we take a little... Okay. So he pulled out once, I think. And he has... Yeah, so he has 1.1k again, which he could probably use. Maybe going some cannons here would be good, just to get rid of those nest of bees, to make sure you don't overcommit and just lose all your archers or all your units to nest of bees. And I hope he doesn't engage there, because that does not look like a great spot. Sacred Site, 6 minutes. I feel like at this point, I mean, you might as well just go for Sacred Site victory. Just commit to that instead.
Because it doesn't feel like he's confident committing here at all.
No, I mean, engaging into China is just very hard, and it's very hard to judge, like, can I actually fight here? Can I commit here? And if you do commit as Lucifron and you lose, the game's over. Like, you just lost the qualifier. So there's also that at play. Like, maybe the game is different if Lucifron is up 3-0 and he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna try, see what happens. But if he loses this, it's over.
And it does look like those spearmen are going to be able to move out here. The thing is now, these keeps, again, nobody is getting boiling oil. So even if the spearmen went in there, they would be able to do a pretty big amount of damage here. But as well, CSO probably does not want to risk anything. The Red Palace now, it is going to be quite prominent here to try and do some damage. But CSO, he's now getting bombards. And Lucifron getting 2 cannons, that is going to help. But it does feel like Lucifron's... he's running out of steam. If he doesn't have anything coming from this next fight, he is going to get cooked.
Yeah, but the cannons are just... the French cannons or the JD cannons are so good.
Just so you guys know, what just happened is Beasty took my protein bars paper and he started licking the chocolate off of it to show me that he wants a protein bar, and I just gave him one, and now he's like a little happy kid with his protein bar.
If it works, it works. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Go ahead, Marika, take it.
I just saw you licking from the paper.
I'm getting a phone call.
You know, your phone call, the protein bar call. Damn, man. He's getting a chocolate, guys. Those chocolates are like $3 each.
It's crazy.
They better be, you better enjoy it. I eat them like once a week.
I eat them once a year.
Yeah, that's true.
Boom.
When you
Okay, go ahead, Marika.
Okay, sorry guys, the protein bar has been really, really intense here. But the bombard! That's a clock tower bombard. That's the bombard she tells you not to worry about. That's a pretty big bombard. And that bombard is not gonna die to just a little raid. But the cannons are firing. The thing is, they're gonna need a lot of shots to take this one down. Now, there are 3 cannons rolling forward, and they do need to be careful because those spearmen are going to be annoying to handle. There's 3 minutes on the clock, 3 minutes 40 on the clock, so we'll see if he can break this. As you can see, Lucifron is moving into position safely here to be able to rotate whichever side CSO decides to go for. These keeps now, I'm just so surprised he doesn't get any emplacements on them. Oh my god, there's no farms.
Not a lot of farms and even less villagers on the farms now. So, Lucifron pretty much doing more damage than CSO did with all those horsemen with just 3 knights. So that's very, very nice. Marika,
Round 2.
pick one. Who's winning this?
Lucifron.
I think Lucifron holds this. 60 archers? I mean, CSO's army is like spearmen. And he's like, I can't afford anything else, so I need more spearmen. And Lucifron 4 cannons. Now his economy, let's be honest, he's not remaking anything. Like, can we check Guildhall? Oof.
Oof, stone as well.
Aish.
That's gonna gather nice and slow.
Yeah, so he is just going to He's just going to commit. What do you think, Freka? What do you think? Is he going to commit to that? Okay, thank you very much. 100 Spearman suit coming in. Okay, never mind, he's pop capped. So no Spearman. Hand Cannoneers are now coming out. And Lucifron, this is his tournament life on the line. If he does not qualify this, if he does not win this, he is not qualifying for the Steelseries land in Denmark.
Now, Denmark does want Lucifron there. We called Denmark and they said, get Lucifron here, we need him, boys. The villagers are there to repair the cannons. They are a little bit forward, but the archers are picking off everything. JD is loving this, but the decap is coming through slowly but surely. This keep not reinforced at all, but the knights are just now trying to get us around, and they do pretty well. We do see the numbers just depleting. The keep might go down, but the sacred side will not.
It's a destruction.
Oh.
He cleans him up like nobody's business. I mean, there's nothing remaining. JD about to hit level 4.
Look at those guys.
Oh god, that is a disaster. And CsOH is gonna go down, and he's gonna see us go into
the next game. CsOH, no! Not
oh
like
my god,
JD!
She survives.
She lives, yeah.
She is my queen.
What? JD?
And we're gonna be going into the last game. Literally last game. It cannot be any further, and we don't need to do the draft anymore.
We don't?
It is going to be
Ottoman.
Byzantine versus Ottoman. Now, to be fair, CsOH does play Ottoman.
To be fair,
this
Ottoman
is not,
has been cranking this tournament.
It's not like me having Ottoman remaining, and I'm like, I'm in danger. You know, like he can do this. Also, Lucifron with Biz.
I think he's in a good spot.
Okay, I don't know if I've seen him play Biz too much.
But Vortex does.
Yeah, Vortex plays Biz a lot.
And they've been playing a lot. So even if he doesn't, like, the soul of his brother is around him.
Right.
And that's what you need. That's what you need. You just need to tune that.
But watch this. Ottoman can go barracks and tower rush the berries.
Oh my god.
I hate that.
No, but we haven't seen a barracks in a while.
Is it George?
Yeah, it's George! George!
I don't like that for Biz.
Guys, we do have...
The giveaway.
No, it's not. We're not going to do the giveaway.
We're not going to do the giveaway.
No. We're not doing the giveaway yet.
Not doing it.
But you do need to enter in chat by typing in !Nova3 so that you have a chance of winning this beautiful, beautiful wireless headset. Look at that.
With letters, Nova 3.
Yes. Very nice. Look
That's
at
right.
that.
Exclamation point Nova 3.
Look at that.
THREE.
No. You don't type it out. Oh my god. Just look at the screen. This is what the stream sees. And it's always so nice when
I know. I watched earlier.
Okay, cool.
Wait, nobody... There's like 2 people that fell for that.
Yeah,
Come on, guys. Can somebody just type it so I feel better?
There you go. Tommy typed it for
No,
you.
but like, I need more people. Just Nova 3, sign up. But it is with the number, though. Just to make it super clear. Exclamation point, NOVA 3 as a number.
Very nice.
Okay.
We're getting more
got
people.
him.
Okay,
Look at
great.
him. Got him.
Oh, wow, Tommy, even like doubling down for you. That's a real bro right there.
Thank you, guys.
Now, guys, this feels like a tough spot, I think, for both of these guys. CsOH, just so you guys understand the complexity of this, if CsOH qualifies today, he still needs to go apply for a Schengen visa. Then he needs to get the Schengen visa on time. So, the thing is, if we don't get a Schengen visa on CsOH, Lucifron will come anyway, you know? But there's a good chance that he gets it, because he did get the previous one. So, CsOH, as long as he has that appointment, he's probably pretty sorted if he makes it today. If he doesn't, that's actually pretty big sag, because you just got an EU visa appointment for nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
But he could use it for maybe vacation.
Yeah. Everybody goes on vacation from China to Europe. Yeah.
What do you mean? There's a lot of Chinese tourists in Europe.
There's so many beautiful countries around China. Like, so many. And it's so much more affordable. Europe's expensive, man.
What the hell?
We became expensive. I remember coming here as a South African and being like, whoa, everything's so cheap and nice. And now... Everything's expensive.
Guys, I do not agree with anything she's saying.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, guys, but we're ready.
Delete me from this conversation. Do you know that Shaquille O'Neal? There's a famous quote, delete from this conversation.
We'll see who deletes who from the next game in 10 seconds,
5,
ladies and gentlemen.
4,
it needs
3,
a second to load in as
2,
well.
1.
This is a very professional
Loaded.
cast when Beasty and I do it, guys.
I was holding down the fort, and then you mentioned the chocolates.
Yeah.
It all went downhill from there. I was even professional to lick the chocolates so I don't say, can I get some chocolates or something like that?
Okay. You licked it. That's the best part. You licked the chocolate
And
paper.
there's a barracks Mreka. If I'm Lucifron, I don't like this.
No, I feel like Lucifron's the kind of guy who will scout, but as I say that, he is...
Oh god, that's the worst case, because he's now turning back because he sees the other scout.
Oh no. Oh no, and he sees the sheep disappear from the front of his eyes. Doesn't disappear from the back of his eyes, so... Yeah. Now, I do see that the barracks Beastie is dying next to me. So, the barracks, though, that thing's producing, and you actually see what it's producing right there, brother? That's a spearman, boy. That's a good old spearman. And you can see that thing nice and strong. But, Lucifron, he is getting his cistern. And he's still going for the general Byzantines build with 1 on stone. The thing that I feel like CSO has got against him. See, Lucifron does have a bit of a demon spawn, but he's got a pretty demon split spawn, at least. That is a very demon spawn. To which that, write KW in the chat if you've ever had a demon spawn like this. But a demon good spawn, because you can see it's a forward gold, but at the same time, the berries, it's in China. Oh no.
What is that house,
What
brother?
are you doing there?
Wait, Mareka. He will do it.
No, he's not.
He's going to go for the
No,
hippodrome.
he would never.
He's crazy like that.
He's honorable.
He's going hippodrome.
Do you really think that this man would go hippodrome in this economy?
Well, if he put that house there and he goes for the Berry landmark, then I have no comment.
Oh no, he has to pull more of the villagers. 5 spearmen now. A little bit disgusting, but he's gonna get a few chops
God, he
in.
needs 4 gold.
He does get
Please tell me he...
He needs 1 gold.
No, don't tell me. It might be one of those. Oh my lord. Oh my god, get me out. Get me out right now.
He's sending them in different directions so that
Get
the
me
villager can
out.
do his best. He does not get a chop off. He's gonna get a chop off, ladies and gentlemen. That is gonna be just enough gold to age up.
Okay, what if it's not? What if he
it's-
drops us his 199?
That would be pretty sad.
Oh my god, that was crazy. Am I the only one that was like shaking right there? Ain't no way he's gonna go for a Grand Winery. What is that house? It's a good house.
It's a house.
They can go get berries and they can nap in the house right there.
And if they're feeling really stressed, they can take a little relaxation time.
Guys, imagine you're one of these guys. Imagine you're a Lucifron and you're getting tower rushed and you can't get gold and you send 3 more and you don't get enough gold and you send 3 more and you're just like your whole life's flashing in front of your eyes right there. You're like, is this how I'm losing game 7? Because I can't get 1 gold? Is that what's happening right now?
And it was almost exactly that. The Beastie monologue just carrying us through. But the question is now, is CSO going to be able to deny this constantly? Stop licking the paper, Alex. Come on, goddammit, do you want another one?
No, that's good. It's good paper.
It's a good paper. Yeah, so now with the villagers going over here, we do see that he's prioritizing that tower. See, now, this is a responsible gatherer. He knows he needs the oil. But the tower, it's an expensive investment. It's a very expensive investment. Is this... If you were in Lucifron's shoes right... You were in Lucifron's shoes right now. I know you wouldn't have
I would
the
take
house.
off the shoes and I would go watch like a movie or something. I would be like, this ain't it. This is not... This is a rough game. to be fair. And I thought he's going to go Hippodrome, but he is not. Now, the good thing is, let's talk about the good stuff.
Okay.
He does have the back Grand Winery. He does have access to stone, so he can actually go for that level 5 cistern. If you look on the left side of the map, he could potentially get a cistern there, get some gold, get some berries as well, which is going to be pretty nice. And Twin Minaret age up with 9 is a bit wild, but we are going to do that. And we also don't see any military schools, so he's not going to get that kind of value, I guess, long term. So CSO, honestly, with that many on age up, I kind of wonder what he's going to go for, but he doesn't have enough stone to upgrade a tower. So he could potentially just rush castle from here on out, which I know that Louis loves to do. And they practice together, so I could see that being a thing.
That sounds like a very disgusting thing to do in your final tournament game, though. But we do see 7 on wood. So there is opportunity for him to go for a production building as well. We'll see if that is the call that he makes today. But now, let's see where he's rallying the next ones to. Yeah, he's still rallying onto wood. That indicates not necessarily fast castle, though. But that's a lot on.
Okay, he's going on stone. So he's gonna. I'm assuming this is military schools into something. I don't know what that something is. He also might reinforce the tower because that way it becomes a lot harder to break. And I think that might be what he's going for. He's going wheelbarrow right now. Honestly, I don't mind this necessarily for Lucifron because now the game's like kind of staying longer in feudal. It's getting delayed further. So Lucifron is going to have time to add his cisterns, to maybe make some spearmen, potentially get the top berries, maybe get a round of mercenaries, and then the game kind of becomes a bit more playable. We see Sipahi now coming out, which is an interesting choice considering we only have Limitane. And yeah, Lucifron is just going to take it slow. I feel like right now Lucifron doesn't really have an option. Like he has to go for like 5 cisterns, slowly take probably top side of the map and come back into the game, because this is pretty severe amounts of damage being done to him. On the other hand, I think CSO has like, he is the one dictating the tempo, and he is choosing to go military schools and no upgrade on the tower.
Ooh, and that upgrade is gonna cost him, or the lack thereof.
Oh, Lucifron is just pulling everything. I mean, this, if he gets this down, which I think he will, he did not activate Acritoid defense. Okay, that turns into a bit of a
Monkasteer right there.
So what's interesting, if you activate Acritoid defense, he could have killed that, but torches actually do more damage. So if you do Acritoid, you actually lose on damage. And it will be going into javelin throwers.
Now, we haven't seen a javelin thrower in the whole tournament. Nobody has been going for a javelin thrower. Is there a reason? Is it
they're
because
not very good.
Okay. We figured, oh my goodness, there's a very big bug. So
how big?
It's one of those that you ate last time.
Okay.
It's one Beasty ate a stink bug one time.
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
Let me just clarify that.
He thought it was
it's a piece of bread. It was not. It was crunchy though.
No, he doesn't.
Did not taste like bread.
There's a massive one flying around.
Where is it?
I think it's. Do they fly the stink bugs?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then
I'll
that's a
eat
stink
it.
bug. You'll eat it. Just that chocolate. Do you really want to ruin that taste? Oh, he does have a lot of Limitane though, so he would potentially be able to go deal with that little tower pretty soon. But you know, it's got a little emplacement. No fortify on it yet. But we see he still has 3 on stone, so we'll see if that actually adds up. But with the amount of archers we're going to get out of here, this does feel kind of scary.
Now, what's kind of funny / interesting is he's going double archer range, maybe thinking that this is going to be longbow, which is the standard. Because there's javelin throwers, he's kind of going double archer production into the counter, but at the same time Lucifron cannot produce a lot of javelins because he is kind of cut off from this side. I actually think maybe he should...
He needs to be careful. The reaction time here, Lucifron just reacts in time. He will not lose a villager, but now he's going to realize the urgency of getting that tower back up. The Bahis, though, putting off a little bit of a warning sign here, and he could potentially... What is wrong?
He did not have space. I'm assuming.
Oh no.
He should have it here, but maybe the sheep was dead or something, so he puts it there, which means he needs to put another blacksmith. Not a big deal, but, you know, it's one of those...
Optimizing.
Yeah.
Back in my games.
That's right.
Now, he should be able to take that tower down with the Limitanei that he has, but he doesn't want to move away because the Sipahis are looming. And you guys have played against those bad boys before. Those things, they can destroy villages in the blink of an eye. So now he's trying to move in mirror with them, as I'm going to take back the mouse from Beasty. We are now going to be able to see where those Sipahis are going to go. I'm actually going to put the second camera on them so we can see what those boys are planning to do. Because he knows that he's out there on the map. He just needs to figure out where.
Alright.
There we go.
There it is. So he's going to go... Oh, that's unfortunate. He just got upgraded. I think you still go for it. But now what you got to do is you got to activate these individually. So you don't click on all of them, which he actually just did. This reduces the attack speed. So what you want to do is, when he gets attacked, you press W. This gets attacked, you press W. But he activates all of them. It will go down, but he's going to lose a couple of Limitanei. But I think it's very much worth it and kind of needed. Because you need those berries. You're going to have a very rough time otherwise. Garrisons, that could upgrade as well. He's got 213 stone. This will go down. And CSO... looks like he's slowly gonna go castle. Pulls off wood. Feels happy with the damage he has done. And now Lucifron is like, yes, finally. Let me get those berries.
Now the thing is, from here on, Lucifron could also go for a fast castle. The thing is, he's not gonna know that this is happening though. Right? So this is the problem. That scout is not as active as it needs to be.
Wake up, scout. Wake up, you gotta go.
Girl, you gotta go see where those villagers are.
You gotta go see what's up, what's he making, what's he cooking, where's the villager gathering, where's the gold. He's still napping on the middle. He does wake up in the end, and he will be going right there towards the gold. And let's check Lucifron's vision. This is where he's looking at, and he sees immediately. Look at this, he's gonna redirect to gold. Watch this. Oh, right there. He sees the gold villagers, and he immediately sends... How many is this? 6 more villagers onto the gold, so he knows what's up. So the game will continue on. Now, Lucifron should have better economy. Not right now, because his villagers were running around everywhere. The age up is coming right here. Now, the 5 cisterns is very, very good. As long as he can actually set up a couple of farms, he's going to have a very, very good economy. And in the main fights... he needs to get more javelin throwers. Now, the problem with javelin throwers is the more you have them, the worse they become. Because you need to actually be extremely efficient with micring them, which is, I think, a lot of players don't go for them because of that.
But now, my question is, with the javelin throwers he has, is that going to be the thing he goes for, even if he can get the camels?
Well, you do want to have camels, but you don't want to make camels. So you want to have like 2 or 4, but you still kind of want javelins, because if you have Limitanei camels, what's the 3rd unit you make? You would need to go archers.
And he doesn't have anything for that
right
now.
He has no resources for anything like that. So I think Lucifron is going to be happy if he survives the next couple of minutes. And we see his force dropping off. He's trying to age up, and I gotta say, that Grand Winery is just, I mean... he just needs a monastery under there, and then he can't make any farms. The houses on the left, the invasion of the houses, the cistern on the top, flanked by the landmark and the TC. I think this is looking pretty good for CSO. It looks like he's in control.
Now, just so you know, this is what they talk about when they talk about the housing crisis. As far as I know, where the old Byzantines were stationed right now, they do have a housing crisis. And this might have been the start of that. So, we got to see it in real time.
It's too late for me for that. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm sorry. Now, the Golden Horn Tower does get finished, and instantly we do see Limitanei getting their upgrades, and Javelin throws 2 more doses of them in queue. But with an upgrade in between, of course. Responsible castle.
Right, okay, there's a lot of Sipahi going, and is CSO going to do the disgusting Ottoman build?
He's not.
Which is mass Sipahi and Springles.
No, he would never.
There's a Mangonel coming.
He's not that kind of guy. Now, this type of this type of harassment is so good because it just keeps this very immobile army running back and forth. And this opens up a little bit of a raiding position for you. We do see that he hasn't gotten a villager killed just yet, but now with the relics coming in, this is probably not the worst. He probably went for the imams. Yep, definitely went for him.
2 relics already on the way for CSGO. And he's going to be taking those. He's going to be going for 2 more very, very soon, up to 4. And yeah.
This is how you know that Lucifron doesn't play Byzantines, but Vortex does.
Well, it's not like he doesn't play it.
No, but because of the houses, right? Well, you don't think...
To be fair, Vortex did play a lot of HRE, but he used to put chapel and like houses and production buildings on top of it. Maybe he thought it increases like production speed or something. I don't know. That's what it looked like. But he did play HRE. It's just like one of those things where it's like...
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex, I need you to look at those villager splits.
I'm looking.
It feels like there's something. And this is something we have actually been seeing from Ottomans a few times, which is kind of weird. Is that a fast imp? It's not. It feels like a medium imp.
Oh, it's Springles.
Oh no. Okay, never mind. Sipahi.
It's coming.
Oh no.
Sipahi Springle, baby.
Can you even beat that?
I recently had a game with Sipahi Springle against Lancaster, and I killed like 120 army with 70 armies. It is very good, but he does have archers too, which makes it... I mean, it's, you know, a bit better, I would say, but it's a very, very strong comp. And funnily enough, longbows are great against this because you can kill Springles.
But javelin throwers, they just don't pack the same punch.
Yeah. So CSO is just kind of controlling the game. This is another reason why I think playing Biz here is very rough on this map, because it's so open that you're just running around most of the time. You're trying to like plug, there's like leaks everywhere in your base, and you're just trying to plug the holes, and you defend here, but then the top Sipahi might come down, and it just becomes very hard to play long term. And we see 5 relics right now in, and he's got 1.2k gold. Should definitely stop mining that. And the strongest part about this playstyle and this build is you actually don't need gold. You just produce Sipahi, and yeah, so he's got a little bit of everything, and I am very scared for Lucifron.
It feels like Lucifron needs a pretty good pickup pretty soon, and it doesn't feel like CSO is giving him that. It doesn't give him any opportunity to actually take down any units because of the fact that there are just Sipahis everywhere. But the problem is Lucifron is actually deciding to go on in, and he does have 20 javelin throwers, and yes, you said that they are not going to do that well in bigger numbers, but...
Well, let's see how good the micro... He can also kill Springles with javelins, by the way. But let's see how good the micro is. The army supply is the same. There's obviously some siege. And he is... I don't know if he's... Oh my god! That's a money shot right there. That's what you need. That was a crazy mangonel shot.
And the problem is the focus does seem to be falling back and forth. And we see the Sipahi raid coming into... And it does look like that is going to do enough damage. Now, he's still going because he's lost 13 and he knows the longer this game goes, it's not going to be good for him.
Okay,
oh, the picture is completely busted. Oh my gosh, he gets it down.
Yeah, I think this is one of those where you're getting raided to death and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to send it. I'm just going to go for it and I'm just going to commit to it. So, he is going to commit to it. I just don't think he has enough. That mangonel, if he lands Marika... Yeah, he is going to be trying to micro those javelins, but again, he has a very, very hard job right here. The Sipahi are going to be flanking, and Lucifron, that is going to be a rough game 7 for him, and CSO is going to go to the land in Denmark.
Now, this is a pretty big showing from CSO. The fact that he took down Lucifron, who looked quite dominating and did beat him in the first best of 5. It does feel like a pretty big defeat here. Like, I feel like CSO definitely showed us he belonged amongst the top 8. And he's shown us in the EGC tournaments as well. So, yeah, pretty well played by CSO. I almost said CSGO again.
Yeah.